Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Can you see me? Is everything good?
I can hear you and I can see you. You're there.
All right, we have sound. We're all set. We're gonna have a fun night tonight, Michael.
I got my coffee and whiskey right here.
Oh yeah, I got my Diet Coke and Captain's right here.
Well, there you go. See, caffeine and whiskey.
Rare form tonight. All right. So what's up? How you been?
I don't know. It feels like I haven't seen you in forever.
Right. I know. That's why I said DWAP's got some splaining to do.
I don't have any explaining to do. I've been live all night.
You have some splaining to do.
Well, I just got into chat. Let's see what chat's talking about. You know, I just had a phone call, but listen, people, don't get upset if I don't know who you are. I just got a phone call from Aaron. You know who Aaron is. Aaron, I guess, is the one who takes credit for introducing me to you and Oni.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I must have said something today that offended Aaron, and she called me. And I tell people when they call me, they're going to get recorded. So, Aaron, yes, that entire conversation was recorded. And yes, I didn't go live right then, but, you know, I might go live later with that recording.
I heard Aaron call.
What?
I heard Aaron call.
No, she called me literally minutes before this live started. Like,
oh.
Yeah, I wasn't live.
Oh.
She had to tell me a few things.
Oh, Aaron, did you call and set him straight?
Yeah, she called me off air. She thought she was off air. But
I love it. I love Aaron. Aaron is always the host of most of my watch parties in my group.
Well, and Aaron then informed me, she was like, you have done lives with me. And I was like, no, I haven't. She was like, we sang karaoke together. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't even remember that night.
I bet you don't. That was crazy. That was fun. We sang some Journey and yeah, we sounded like shit.
No fun.
We sounded like shit.
I sounded good though. Everybody said I sounded good, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what were you singing? You were singing like Charlie Daniels or something.
I did sing. Did I sing a Charlie Daniels song? Did we sing a Charlie Daniels song? Oh
yeah, you did. Devil Went Down to Georgia, I think was your tune that night.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah,
that's my go-to tune.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
So
I'm coming at you.
Been?
I'm coming at you live from my son's house.
So you got baby? You're baby watching?
Nope, I ain't got no baby. I'm watching the dog.
You're watching the dog.
They went away for the weekend. They went to some family in Ohio, so I'm here with the dog.
Nice.
Yeah, well. Yeah. I got away from my 4 dogs to come here with their 1 dog.
And how do I go full screen and chat? That don't make no sense.
You really can't.
No, you can't on the YouTube browser, huh?
No, and you know what I do is I just look at chat on my phone usually.
Well, I don't want to do that. Then I feel like I'm leashed to my phone and I start getting messages and start surfing other stuff. So
well,
I got it right in front of me. I can see chat. No, I can see chat, and then I could always just turn around and look. I have chat behind me.
I can't with you with the multiple monitors.
Well, see, but like that monitor, you can go full screen and chat's on there. But so I kind of feel like I should turn my whole rig around just so I could do that too someday. So I'm just thinking to myself, what's everybody wanting to talk about tonight? Because I can talk about anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty much up for talking about anything. And I have the call-in number on the screen so we can take calls. Hopefully I don't get the milkman again. I kind of had someone like you had today.
Dude, I got that guy. He tried to get me 3 or 4 times.
Dude, you don't even know. I got about 30 the other night.
Oh, so yeah. Is that what are we deeming him the milkman?
Yeah, his name's the milkman.
He's the milkman.
You don't want to know why, but
At first, I thought I was about to give some. I thought I was gonna have to give some relationship uh, advice because he started talking about like I got someone pregnant, and then he just went into just dropping the n bombs.
Yeah,
And the
that's what they were
second,
doing to me. I wonder if it was the same group of people. Although my guy
I'm
didn't
sure.
have the accent like your guy did.
Well, I could tell you. I could tell you what. Um, for if that guy's in here listening, which he probably is, you could join your buddy today. He just got life sentence. So
Who's
for
his buddy?
the federal hate crime, that kid that shot up that church, he just got dealt the very first ever federal life sentence or federal death sentence, not life sentence, death row sentence. Um, what's that kid's name? He shot that church up. They just dealt him a federal
Oh,
death
that
sentence.
kid. Okay.
Yeah, the white kid, and he was like, it was all a racist thing. He was even like in court, he defended himself, or he made some weird, I think he defended himself, or he made some weird statement about at the very end when he was defending himself. He was like, I would do it all again, or whatever. I felt like I had to do it. And
Yeah.
so,
What a
yeah, the
what
little
a nut
blonde
job.
kid, the little blonde kid. So,
There was also an inmate put to death this week for a racist crime. If you remember, it was down in Texas where they drug that black man from the back of their vehicle.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they executed the one guy.
So, Milk Boy, I understand
Felicia.
why you're feeling so left out because they're killing all your boys. So, I understand. So, you need some daddy love too. So, you call me anytime.
Daddy love. That's so gross.
That's the problem with these kids. That's the problem with that guy. He probably didn't ever have a dad in his life.
Yeah, that guy was really disturbing. He must have called 30 times and
Did he have a British accent or something?
No, he didn't. That's why I'm saying it didn't sound like the
it
same
might be
guy.
a different guy, huh?
Weird. Yeah, he would call and he'd say the N word like over and over and over and over and over, and I couldn't get him off fast enough. He was calling in on my Zoom.
Yeah, that's why I like the cell phone because I can have them on speakerphone, and then I just take them off speaker, and they just keep talking, and they're like screaming and yelling, and I'm like,
Yeah, no, I like that too. There is a way, and Oni came in when I was getting trolled, and he was showing me how to set up a meeting room on Zoom where you can have people, they go into a meeting room and then they don't enter until you let them. But for some reason, I have the setting on, but it doesn't work. So I have the meeting room on, but it doesn't seem to work because when you called me, it didn't put you in a meeting room.
No, it just put me straight in. If Corey's in the house, thank you, Corey. I got your hat on tonight.
I love Corey's hats.
This is handmade, sent to me from Corey.
I know, those are so cute. Corey in Canada. She probably wears a lot of hats because it's really super cold in Canada.
I believe, yeah, Corey. Yeah, she's from Canada, right?
Mm-hmm. See, unlike you, DWAP, I remember my peeps.
I know. Aaron,
I had to say that for Aaron.
There it is. She ain't gonna let me forget her. She gonna be like calling me in the middle of the night. She literally called me 3 minutes before I was supposed to go on with you and wanted to clear the air.
She is so funny.
I didn't know the air was dirty.
I love it.
Don't be mad, Aaron. I love you. Sorry.
I'm sure she forgives you.
I think she does. Maybe she's not. She might be throwing stuff at the phone right
now. Christine, I live in Michigan.
And I'm in beautiful Colorado.
Yes, we know. I'm in the Mitten State.
Well, how does she not know where you're at, and then she might not know where I'm at?
Oh, well, she was in your live earlier. See, if you paid attention.
I don't. I don't do it. I don't expect it. Don't ever expect it.
He doesn't pay attention to chat when he's talking.
Rambling.
Yeah, rambling.
My brain doesn't work that fast. I'm paying attention right now. Like I see Zelda and Prepper and Autumn and Tams and Aaron and Debbie and Ashley and Pepperoni. Is that Pepperoni? Pepperoni
Prepperoni.
101.
Have you ever talked to Prepper, like, live?
I feel like I have. I feel like
Prepper?
one of your guys called. Was that not? It's not Prepper. Who was the guy that called me that was like one of your followers, but he had never called in before to you? I can't remember who that is, but there was one guy that called me up the other day, and he was like, "I'm one of Jay's. She's gonna be mad because I've
It was
never called her."
Romad.
Oh, it was Romad.
It was
So it
the
was
first
Bobby.
time. Yeah, it was the first time he called.
Maybe it
He
was
found
Bobby.
you
Yeah.
through me, and he
Yeah.
never called me before. So he was like, "Oh no, I'm talking to
Yeah.
you first." But no, Prepper is a really cool guy. Prepper is actually a prepper,
Well, I would hope you don't have a name like that and not be a prepper.
but he has his own channel, and he's gonna start making more videos about his prepping. And he's got one video up. He's a smart dude. I like talking with Prepper.
No, those are there. We got a lot of preppers in this area for sure.
Yeah, it's cool. He was talking a lot about it. We did the Oklahoma City bombing, and he called in, and we kind of got on the discussion of the prepping. And
That was the guy that was on during your bombing.
yes,
The bomb. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
no, I listened to him. I listened.
Yeah.
I was,
You did?
yeah, I listened to some of that. No, which one did I listen to? You were talking to some other guy.
Oh, that was when I was talking about the feeling cute challenge.
I
So
don't know what guy you were.
that was JLR. That was JLR. He's a former federal inmate.
JLR.
Yep. He's been friends with him for a while now, a few years. And we were talking about the feeling cute challenge. You know what that is?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So like for you, DWAP, if you were feeling cute, you'd be like, feeling cute. Think I'm gonna go cause some problems at the local, what meeting were you at last night? What was that called?
Oh, that
Town
was
hall?
the strategic planning meeting.
Oh, okay. So DWAP's gonna take a selfie, feeling cute, gonna go wreak havoc at the strategic planning meting. So it's where people are taking selfies, right? And they're like, okay, let's say it's a pizza delivery guy. They take a selfie and they go, feeling cute, might just deliver you a pizza later. Like some of them are funny and innocent, but there's JLR was exposing some correctional officers and police officers who were kind of doing some nasty shit with that whole feeling cute.
What were they doing?
Like correctional officers feeling cute might just gas the wing today. Feeling cute. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, stuff like that. So he was calling them out. So what happened was there's a dog's like all over me. Can you see him? It's a German Shepherd.
Yeah, do you see beautiful. You see my good dog, right? You see my good dog?
Where is she?
Right here. This is not the sheep.
Oh, the general. Yeah, see mine? He's a big German Shepherd. He'll eat you.
Yeah, when Muffins is bigger, it'll be.
He's a big baby, though. He loves me. But anyways, what happened was there's a group on Facebook, and it's for correctional officers, and there's about I think 30 or 40,000 people in this group. And that's
dude,
where they
get in that group.
Yeah, I'll invite you because I'm in it. I'm in it now.
Yeah, I gotta sneak in there.
Yeah, so they were posting all these in this group, and JLR was in the group, and he was like, well, and that's messed up, you know. So he actually got it in the mainstream media's eyes, and these people, some of them
really like he like outed them in the public.
Yeah. And then the mainstream media picked up on it, and then he started getting emails from the correctional facilities about the actions that they were taking on these people. Pretty interesting.
That's some crazy stuff there. Don't get caught up.
Well, and that only happens on JS for Justice, okay? But yeah, I mean, what dum-dums? And they have their badges on. You can see their names. I mean, dumbasses for doing it.
I never even thought about, like, those would be fun groups to troll a little bit.
Yeah, I'll invite you to that one because it's huge. So what it's funny, Mike, because it was started by like a couple guys in like Vietnam. And the reason they started it was because they wanted to sell they're merchandise. So they sell
Okay.
like correctional officer merchandise, like
Gotcha.
stuff like that. So they have a page and they have a group. Well, then all these correctional officers join this group, and it just turned out huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I bet.
that's what we were chatting about that night. But yeah, I mean, it's not right. It's like me working in hospice and saying, you know, taking a selfie at work. Hey, think I might just pull the plug on someone today. You know, it's not right.
Jay, don't do that.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Well, of course I wouldn't. But I'm saying.
I know, but I know, I understand. So that's the cute challenge. It's like you're gonna wreak havoc. I'm feeling cute today.
Right.
Yeah,
It
I'm
started
not.
out as
I
innocent.
don't do a lot of selfies. I do some selfies, but I don't do a lot of selfies.
Dude, every day is a selfie for you. You got the camera on you every day.
Yeah, but I'm not like I could turn it off me and point it out my window most of the time. Sometimes when I'm
I know
driving,
you
I'll
don't
point
you
it out
don't
the
take
window.
selfies.
Oh, I did think about what I was gonna wear today. Can't you tell?
Yeah, I see you're promoting yourself.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Always wearing his own merch. Always wearing his own merch.
It's just because I like black. That's why I never did t-shirts, because that's what happened. I grew up like with bands, and I swear a band would get a box of t-shirts and then they would just disappear, and we're like, get to the concert and like, where are the t-shirts to sell? And they're like, oh, I grabbed one because I needed a clean shirt. So there you go. This is why the drop ship thing is brilliant. I don't ever have to touch nothing. So
Prepper. He said, wow, mental note. Don't invite Jays for Justice over if you're hooked up to a plug. Hey, Irby Herb. Are you here to take notes?
I just caught that. Irby Herb, I'm disappointed that I haven't had a feature on your channel in over a month. I probably have like one of the second largest viewed videos on your channel, and I can't even get a second. I can't even get an encore. I guess I'm gonna have to go off on somebody.
I got a mention on an Irby Herb video that went out about an hour ago. Me and Colorado Crime Con, we got a little mention.
Oh, you did get a little mention.
A little mention from last night, yeah.
I didn't get no. See, at least I got a sorry though.
She did say sorry, DWAP.
Yeah. I see. The funny thing is like when I log into this TV and I'm not logged into any YouTube user, so I just search and find my channel. When I search that with a phone, like the second video that comes up is Irby Herb's video, and so I see it every day. I'm like, man, I need to get a new video on that channel.
I know.
The National Enquirer.
Well, you know what? You never know what can happen tonight. We might end up like front and center on Irby Herb.
Yeah. Well, I had no idea about whatever happened last night or whatever happened in somebody's video. I had no idea about any of that until today. And so somebody needs to send me a clip so I can at least listen. I can't go try to wait. I can't wait through the 5 hours of shit. So if there's a 30-second clip or a highlight, y'all can send that to me.
It's not really even worth it. I mean,
there you go.
Basically, what happened was I got a message and said, hey, you're being accused of something in this live. So I went in there because I was just like, this lady has my email. Like if she had a question, she could have asked me. So I just went in there and I was like, hey, what am I being accused of? And then it turned out it was like the swatting thing or whatever. But
yeah, Melissa B, that is about correct. I pretty much don't remember anything 5 minutes ago. So, because it's in the past, right? I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about next year right now. Like I'm already writing shit for 2020. And so,
if you just go watch Irby Herb's thing from last night, she gives a quick recap.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, who do we got? Hopefully it's not the milkman. Recap. Oh, it's Jenny. You weren't supposed to call in tonight.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Oh, Jenny's in she snuck in?
She snuck in, and I wasn't supposed to let her call in tonight. But here she is. What's up, Jenny?
The ceiling?
Look at that smart ass.
Who, her?
You know me better than that, Michael.
The ceiling. That's what's up.
Who we got? 989.
Julie.
Is that Julie K?
They're coming in now.
No.
Oh.
Julie, DG Mom.
Oh, DG Mom. Hi.
Hi, how you guys doing?
We're wonderful. How are you?
Good.
So what's
First,
up?
I just want to say congratulations on your grandbaby. She's so beautiful.
Oh, thanks. I think she is too, but I'm a little biased.
Well, you should be. She's gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. This is sweetie.
Well, yes, she is. I thought that was so cute how she was crying all through your live that night. That was so funny. I was cracking up.
Oh my God. I was
remember
sweating
those days.
bullets. I was sweating bullets.
I bet you were.
Here I am.
That always happens at the worst time.
I'm trying to talk about the Oklahoma City bombing, and this baby is just not happy. She wanted to take the mic, I think. And it's been a while. You know, my youngest is almost 19, so it's been a while for me to have this crying baby that wouldn't stop. And it was one for the
You're gonna have to
history
start her a
books.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm telling you.
Pepper, she calmed down every time he talked.
She did too. I was so happy he called in. He started talking and she just calmed right down. Something about crap.
Jay just puts on Dad with the phone at night, and she's listening to Dad with the phone in the evening as she goes to sleep.
She does like your voice too. I have had her and had you on your live, and she does. It must be like the man's voice is calming or something. I don't know. Or she just likes Prepper and Dad. But thank you, DG Mom.
Oh, no problem. I was calling because I had seen just a very little short clip the other day on YouTube of a news conference that was done about the Delphi murders, and I haven't been able to find anything or heard anything more about the new information they had released. I haven't seen anyone do any like YouTube shows about it or anything, and I was wondering if you had looked into that case at all.
You know, I haven't. I heard there was some new info. I think there was a new sketch that came out, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they know kind of, you know, who they're looking for, but I did not really follow that closely. I'm sorry.
Is this the sisters?
The friends that were on the train tracks.
And then they had like there's this they
The
released
man.
the 2 sketches of the guy walking down the train tracks.
Yes, yes.
And then like they said some things even like in the courtroom where they were like the guy might be amongst us or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a crazy
Yeah,
case.
there was a recent update.
Yeah, I was trying to think who I saw something. Maybe it was True Crime Truth Finder. I don't know if she did an update or if she did a video on it, but I thought I saw something somewhere that it had to have been either True Crime Truth Finder or.
Dude, I'm a little freaked out at the moment. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but like, my son's dog doesn't growl unless like, I don't know if you can hear that, but he's looking out the window.
Girlfriend, don't you be getting swatted?
Well, you know, for fuck's sake. What's out there, Jamie? I mean, I feel good with him here, but when he growls, I gotta lock this door. What the hell?
It's like cops everywhere. She's like, the cops are here.
Dude, you never know with people.
My gosh, that'd be crazy.
All right, go get him, Jamie.
Oh, I just let my dogs out.
Like, I ain't scared of nothing with that German Shepherd here, but, you know, I live in the same, or my son lives in the same town as a certain crazy person, so, yeah.
Hey, so what are you streaming through right now?
Me?
Yeah. Are you streaming through OBS?
OBS.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just wondered.
So, DG.
Yes.
Do you have a question for Dad with a phone? Ask him
no,
anything.
No, she said nope.
She doesn't? You can ask him anything.
Oh, any update on Gypsy's case at all? Have you found out any new information?
No, so Gypsy's case is one of those where like we kind of started from the beginning with it, wasn't it? And like I feel like we've led the way, even though that's not really true. There's other people that are doing stuff, but no, I've called law enforcement all week. So I called CPS or Colorado Springs Police on Monday, left a message. never got a message back. I had one phone call come back that could have been them. I didn't answer it. It was a no caller ID number. So it could have been them calling me back. They didn't leave a message. I called FBI and CBI and was sent to messages and haven't heard anything back. The family, I had some communication early in the week with Gypsy's mother about some things that people had told her, and she wanted me to go look because of time and the information. I didn't really jump on it, didn't do anything right away. And then I got messages from other people that were close to the family or a part of the family, and they had acted or had got someone to act on these, going to search these places that I guess some information that had come in through like psychics and mediums. And so I had a long discussion today about it. And it's like, I don't jump at the psychics, because I feel like I've had like psychics contact me since this whole Kelsey case started. I've had freaking spirit boxes screaming my name. So I try not to jump into those supernatural areas too quickly. So, but some other people went out and searched some areas in the local area. I know that there's some other people that have been putting signs up, and so, but I think I don't know what to do. Like, what's next? That's the thing. It's like, what do you do next? I could call up Dane right now, I guess, and see what the hell he's doing over in California. It's like 7:00 there, right?
Do it.
She says, do it. It's one of the, because like I'm past the point now where he said, like, don't call me. I'm definitely past even worrying about that. I just want to know if he's heard from his wife. And so, no, it's an interesting. But somebody says he answers late at night. So,
let's call him.
Well, let's just.
I'll call from my phone.
I got my phone right here. I'm trying to find his. I'm trying to find his number. Attach one.
Do you know if all of his stuff is still in his apartment? He just up and left everything.
I don't know. We can ask him if he answers.
Who are we calling?
Please leave your message for 7.
He's not there.
Who's that?
That was going to be Dane.
Oh, shit. I didn't even realize you were calling him.
Well, we were talking about it. We were talking about, like, what the hell is really going on with Gypsy's case. We haven't heard any updates. I'm frustrated. We haven't had a press conference from law enforcement. I'm frustrated that they haven't. Nothing's really come from law enforcement. It's only been through a few phone calls and then a few press deals, and so
maybe he blocked your number.
That was going to be my next question. With him being local, have you seen anything on the news? Are the police doing anything like with the public, trying to get the information out there?
The police are not. That's what I'm saying. The police haven't done a press conference like they did with Kelsey's case. The police haven't done a press conference like they've done with cases around the country. As a matter of fact, when the police are asked questions, they say, we don't have any information. This is an open investigation, which all of these things are open investigations, And so it's hard because there's no family here. They're not doing anything because the family's not going to knock on their door tomorrow. They don't have to worry about the family going to the news station and telling them the cops aren't doing anything. And so I talked about this a little bit earlier this week. I feel like I should go down to CSPD every day and ask them if they're doing anything, but they might get me for harassment, where if it was the mother coming down there asking, it would be a different story. So I do believe that Margie is in the works to try to travel here. I don't know the logistics behind that, and I don't even quite understand what will happen then, because again, it would definitely bring a little noise. There would definitely be some news stories happening if she showed up on U.S. soil looking for her daughter, and so that could put, that could push something over. I'm kind of frustrated because law enforcement hasn't said anything, so it's let the whole rumor mill run wild. So we don't know what's happening, so the rumors are running wild, and it's hard to discern through what's truthful, what's not truthful, what's helpful, what's not helpful. And so,
oh my Lord, Janice Burns just said they should check out Gold Camp Road. I've heard that before.
Yeah, right. You heard that. Well, that was why that guy was up there, though. That was what we never got to on that discussion. So when I was talking to Dane's friend, so that she's talking about you're talking about Dane's friend, right?
Mm-hmm. The military guy.
Yeah, the military guy. So Dane's friend, one of Dane's friends, gets in contact with us through social media. And we're going to meet him. And they say, oh, well, he's up on Gold Camp. And the first thing out of my mouth was like, well, that son of a bitch is either killing someone or riding dirt bikes. And but when I talked to him, we had our little meeting get together. I asked him, well, why are you up on Gold Camp? And he was up there because that's the first thing any out-of-state person says that knows anything about the murder scene here in Colorado Springs. Oh, if somebody's murdered, you need to go up and look up on Gold Camp. Well, it's a little bit easier said than done. Gold Camp is a crazy road that runs from Colorado Springs to Cripple Creek, Victor area. And so basically where Highway 24 comes through Woodland Park and Divide and goes over the north side of the peak, Gold Camp is a dirt road that goes over the south side of the peak. And so, yeah, there's a lot of bodies up there for sure. But it was funny because he was up there on an internet tip searching Gold Camp for Gypsy. So,
there's a television show. I don't watch a lot of TV, but there is a show with Elizabeth Smart on. She's one of the reporters, and she does a lot of missing person things.
That's my donation thing, you guys.
I didn't know that was your donation thing. I was like, what the fuck is playing music right now?
Why didn't it show Elvis, though? It didn't work right. I'm sorry. Well, thank you.
No, it showed Elvis.
Was.
It showed Elvis.
Oh, you saw him?
I saw Elvis.
Oh, okay, cool. It worked then. All right, sorry.
You just interrupted what she was saying. What television show were you saying?
Crime Watch Daily. And Elizabeth Smart does a lot of missing person cases. So I'm wondering if maybe we should shoot them an email. Maybe they might get involved and help with getting her mom here. Maybe they can help with a flight or something like that just for the interview alone. Because, if they can basically use this situation to boost their ratings or get, views or whatever, they might be interested in taking this case on just, for one of their shows.
I think anything's worth trying. I tweeted Trump today, so that's not a joke.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's not a joke. I did because he's in Colorado Springs. So he's coming to Colorado Springs to go speak at the Air Force Academy. And so I tweeted him and said, hey, Trump. And I also attached Andrea Canning and Sam. And I said, Trump, why don't you come up to Woodland Park and do a message about violence against women and talk about Kelsey Barrett and Gypsy? And if he's a smart man, it's an election cycle. You should probably come up here and talk about violence against women, Trump, if you're listening right now.
That was a good idea, I think.
Well, put it this way. Trump's Twitters are so crazy that I actually think he's the one tweeting. And so if that's the case, we have a red phone to the president. It's called Twitter. And so it's worth trying out. Now, he might not answer the red phone always, but maybe we'll strike a chord one day. Anyway.
He might surprise you.
Who knows? He shows up in Woodland Park. He's like, let me talk to Dad with a phone.
I think you should send an email to Crime Watch Daily. I think you'd know just what to say.
I'm terrible at emails. I'd have to send them a video. I can't write shit
That
down.
works.
Well, yeah, I bet I could send them a video. I'll put my little Dateline intro in front of it. Hey, did y'all like the Dateline 45-minute video today?
Loved
Man,
it.
that was random. I wasn't even going to do that. And then all of a sudden I was going through videos and I was like, I haven't shown this one yet. So,
No, I
anyway.
think that was cool. It was kind of neat to see behind the scenes. She seemed pretty chill.
Yeah, she was. Did you catch her OJ joke? Did you catch that one? Oh, she like cracked there was a house we went by, and I said a highway patrol officer one time shot his wife in that house, and that's like it's a murder that happened up here about 10 years ago, and she looks over and there's a white Bronco, and she goes, and there's a white Bronco in the driveway. And I didn't catch it right away, and then I caught it, and I was like, "Oh, you're so funny."
Yeah, she seemed pretty chill.
Yeah, she's Canadian.
Is she?
I think is what. Yeah, I think she said. I could be totally wrong. No, I think she said she grew up in Canada because we were talking about driving on ice and snow or something. It was interesting to me to listen to that interview again. I don't like listening to myself, but what I liked about it was it triggered some things. And I started thinking about, like, with Kelsey's case, what we know now is that even before the very first press conference, even before this thing was made public, there were people back in Twin Falls whispering about this murder. Like they kind of already knew the murder took place, and there were things that had happened that really these people would have had prior knowledge of. Not only the murder was going to take place, but I think they would have put two and two together right afterwards, especially right before the press conference. And so while we're all sitting here in Woodland Park, and I'm sitting there going, why the freak are all these cameras here? What kind of big deal is this? You know, there's people in Twin Falls, and they're whispering about what's happened, and they know more than most of us, you know. And so I have been messaging with well, actually, he called me out of the blue, and then we've been messaging with a husband of one of the friends of Crystal. So, like, his wife won't talk to me, but this husband has been chatting with me, and he's trying to get his wife, because I'm finding out that Crystal has a real tight-knit circle of friends and a group of people that she obviously trusts. But
and they still trust her?
I think the big question is where is she, right? She's either in hiding or she's sitting on the beach sucking Mai Tais down somewhere, you know? So
that must be a country thing, because if she was in the hood, everybody would be telling on her at this point. Yeah.
Show me Mo Graves. What kind of name is that? Show me Mo Graves.
I love it.
Does Dad with the phone only do crime in Colorado? Man, show me more Graves. If you want to fund a trip, I'll go anywhere. But no, I don't even do true crime. I don't even do crime. I got sucked into this. I got sucked into this. This is all Aaron's fault. Y'all should blame Aaron. I got reminded today that Aaron is the cause of all this. And so the problem is we have too many people like Aaron trying to connect people. And so you can blame Aaron. It's Aaron's fault.
Show me Mo Graves. She does videos about famous people buried in Missouri. Interesting.
Show me Mo Graves.
Do you have videos on your channel then? I have to check that out.
That does sound like a good.
Doesn't that sound interesting?
Videos about famous people buried in Missouri,
or just famous. Who's famous and buried in Missouri though? That's question.
Like a small niche you got there. Right? Show me Mo Graves.
Wait a minute, St. Louis. So Prince is in Missouri.
How did you know that?
I know everything, DWAP, because I'm an avid Prince fan.
Oh, got you. Did
I
you get that
love
from the
Prince.
Prince documentary or something?
When Prince, no, I just know that's where he lived. That's where he died, was in Missouri. I cried.
My little sister just bought a house in Missouri, and they were out doing yard work, and they thought there was a walkway of cement blocks that were buried deep into the ground. And as they started digging them up, they found that they were grave markers.
Ooh, right
and
on their
they
property?
had found about, on my sister's new property, they found 22 of them.
Oh, I gotta see it. I worked so hard on that. Thank you, love, Dad with the phone and Jay. I worked so hard on figuring that out. Thank you. Isn't that cool? Jailhouse Rock, that's for you.
Is that an automated thing, or are you triggering that?
No, that's automated through Streamlabs. It's cool.
I just got that Streamlabs thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Streamlabs, Dad with a phone, or whatever.
It's fun stuff. So yeah, I was working on that before, but I figured that would be fitting because I have you on tonight, Jailhouse Rock, because we're going to be spending the night in jail.
You're going to be singing that soon.
Yeah.
We're going to jail. We're going to jail. It is booked. That lady's stoked. The museum curator, she is so excited.
Is she going to be there?
They will have somebody there. There will be a staff member there, and that's portionately part of why we had schedule and stuff. I originally wanted them to just. My original idea was I'm just going to lock myself in there, right? But it was going to be too cool of an idea to not try to get some more people. It'll be way too much fun. They're all about we can bring a potluck in. So Miss Underground's going to do either barbecue or nachos.
Nachos, Miss Underground nachos.
Oh, we're going to do nachos. All right. So we'll tell her to do nachos. And then, we got the whole place to ourselves. And so we're going to have to actually plan this because I'm thinking I'm going to want a break. We're going to have to take a break sometime that, I don't know, maybe we'll just go all freaking night. Who knows?
Oh, wait, I screwed up. So Prince is in Minnesota, not Missouri. Wait.
She tried to be all like, I'm a Prince fan. I'm a Prince fan. And then somebody Googled it. And you got busted.
I did. Minneapolis, Minnesota. He was not in Minnesota. There's nothing in Minnesota. It was Missouri.
Oh, Dre and Pancake are coming.
Oh, okay, so for you guys, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, we're going to stay in this haunted jail. And we're going to be locked in there overnight.
This jail is across the street from the Teller County Courthouse where Patrick will be has been going to trial and stuff. And the jail, it was in operation from 1804 to 1992.
Dude, that is so
cool. 1904 to 1992. So it was in operation for 90 years or something like that, and it was closed down because the ACLU said it was inhumane. But they have kept the jail intact, and it's now a jail museum. And the cells and shit still have the scrapings and all the carvings from the inmates.
There's probably 800 pictures on Google of the inside of that place, and I was looking at it, and there's this one cell where they had a picture of this lady, and it was from 18 something, I don't even know. Yeah. And she went to jail for 10 days for getting drunk and using her husband's money to get a bottle of liquor instead of buying her kids clothes. They threw her in the clinker for 10 days for that.
Well, and there's also, it's like a two-parter because they have the regular cells where the men were housed, but then they have another cell system and another cell area and some bedrooms where the women and children were kept in in this jail. So we're going in there starting at 5:00 at night. We're going to be in there from 5:00 at night till opening the next day, which is around 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. And we're going to be live videoing, live streaming, crazy. They're going to do some. Jay's going to be locked in a cell and is going to do a Ouija board or something. And,
I'm not doing a Ouija board. I'm going to do the spirit box.
The spirit box.
Yes, we're going to call on some spirits and we're going to have their names because they're all written on the can someone put the Patreon up? I don't know how to do that. We will talk about the Moss trial in just a few. We have all their names so we can actually ask them to talk to us.
Yeah, we do have. They have the inmate role. It's gonna be a cool night. It's gonna be something. Obviously, you're not gonna be in my living room, or you're not gonna be in my little office, and you're not gonna be at Jay's son's house. We're gonna be inside the jail, the Teller County Jail. This is all there is to it. You can check out. There's all kinds of paranormal videos that they filmed inside this place. If they start using that spirit box, I've already decided I'm chaining myself in to a cell. I'm gonna hang my hammock up, and I may podcast from right inside the cell. So,
well, from what I could see, there already is hammocks in there that the inmates slept on.
well, they have like one cell that's set up in the traditional manner.
Oh, that's just one.
But there's a couple of open cells that we'll be able to go in and out of. Some of their cells are like staged with like some old inmate stuff. So I'm sure they're not going to just let us wreak havoc on those cells. But
I thought they were all like that.
No, there are a couple of cells that are open, and both downstairs. This place is pretty freaky. It's actually pretty. They have some of the old uniforms or some mock-up uniforms that you can put on.
You can take a mugshot, it looks like.
Take our mugshot on site for sure. If you want to join us, if you have a wild ass hair and you're in this live video right now, message me or Jay. We can get you the details. We're going to keep it to a small group of people, but I don't want to keep. If people are interested and you want to pay a flight out and you want to come join us, the cool thing about what's going to happen is on the 13th, it's June 13th, we're going to spend the night in there. But June 13th during the day, Patrick Frazee is scheduled to be in court on a custody hearing. Now, what that means is they're probably not going to let us stay in the courtroom. What they'll do, you'll get to go in, you'll sit down, the judge, all the attorneys will come in, Omar Frazee will be there, very, very possibly Aaron Frazee, and very possibly, is it Daryl Barrett? Yeah. I want to say. Yeah, so Kelsey's dad was there last time. And so then they will have us all sit down. They'll bring Patrick in, and then the attorneys will say, we motion that we want to have everyone removed. And then they'll remove us from the courtroom, and we'll go out in the hallway and chat with the reporters. And then after that, we're going to take a little tour around Teller County. We'll go see the donkeys that Patrick used to trim. We'll go by Evergreen Station. We'll go by Omar Frazee's. We'll go by the Conoco Station. We'll go by Kelsey's house, the Safeway Sonic. I'm not 100% sure which bar KK stopped at. There's a few options in town. We're going to eat some breakfast at Bronco Billy's. I promise you that. And so that's happening on June 13th. And that's pretty much like a little mini crime con just between me and Jay and some friends. So if you want to show up, we'll get you details on that. Tomorrow, Jay, I'm out at the Colorado Crime Con location. I'm meeting with the owners. They're having a private event out there, and they invited me out, but I decided I'm going to do some live videos from out on location, show people the facility. Nice. So you can see where you'll be staying during Colorado Crime Con. Jay will probably claim a room. She'll be like, that's my room. And,
you know me so well.
I already know you're gonna be like watching. You're gonna be like, okay, that's my room. I claim it right now. And so no, I'm headed out there early. I'll be out there from about 9 o'clock to noonish. And then so that'll be fun. What else? We got craziness going on around here. So
You got a lot going on.
I'm full time in it now.
I have an
You got
update.
enough going on in Colorado that you don't need to investigate anything in any other states.
Yeah, no
Ain't
shit.
that the truth? I got 3 murders in this town I still haven't even looked at.
My goodness.
Yeah, there's something wrong out there.
Yeah, you better take some mace.
Mace.
Shit. You sure you want to go?
I do have an update though for everybody who watched the high-speed chase the other night. Did you see that, DWAP?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I love high-speed chases.
It probably went by his house.
It was actually in LA.
No, that one was in LA. But did y'all see that shit burned down that I-70 burn up last night?
That's horrible. I don't want to talk about that. It's so sad.
No.
It's really sad. That was right in my son. That was right in Lakewood.
When your mom calls you and's like, Michael, you weren't on the highway or anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, same. I called my son too, because he lives right in Lakewood where it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the chase, I have an update. We all saw that he had a female passenger in the car the whole time, and that he was beating on her as he was going 90 miles an hour down the freeway. And then he ultimately pulled in a parking spot at a 99-cent store, and he ran into the store, and she was still in the vehicle. So a lot of people were wondering what happened. They apprehended him inside the store, but they were wondering, was she okay? So she was released from the hospital later that night, and she only had external injuries. But at this time, the police don't know where she is. And fearing for her safety, they'd really like to speak with her because the suspect posted bail and he got out Friday morning.
Oh, wait a minute. That mother freaking runs all over California all day long, and he got bail in 24 hours?
He was able to post his $125,000 bail.
Yeah, because that's only $125,000. He probably put up $3,500.
Yep. So he's being charged with felony evading and domestic violence charges, and he was able to bail out Friday morning. So this poor
wonder
girl.
if California is one of them places where they have that, if your record's not that bad, that you get out on a personal recognizance, as long as you've never ran on a bond.
Well, if he had 125, there's no way they let him out on a personal.
Because he had to pay bail, but he got out, which is just crazy.
Jeez,
so hopefully she's nuts. In hiding because he was, literally, and he was driving really well at 90 miles an hour and beating her at the same time. It was awful.
Are you like saying he's multi-talented or what?
He didn't miss a beat. He was staying in his lane. His car didn't even
no pun intended.
It was on the straight and narrow, and it was just insane. I've never seen anything like it.
He didn't miss a beat.
You know what I meant, D-Rock. Oh my God.
What happened?
No more Jameson for Jay.
The car that was hanging off the bridge.
I don't know. The helicopter panned over to the beach and gave us a nice view of the beach. The hell if I know. I'm assuming they got the car off the bridge.
So some car was just randomly hanging off the bridge?
Yeah, down in Florida. It was like sideways hanging off the bridge. And they were, the helicopters were showing us the view. And then all of a sudden, they're going down the coast, showing us the beach and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a nice view. So that was a weird newscast.
And then they were like on some whales, and then Jay turns it off.
Well, it's like, I don't know if anybody wants to watch this. I guess everybody was wishing they were on the beach in Florida. Oh my God, that's so funny. So that's the update on the car chase, which I thought was crazy that he's out on the streets.
Yeah, that's nuts that he's already out. That kind of blows my mind, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Because, yeah, dude wouldn't pull over for the cops. So yeah, he's gonna show up for court for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So we have another caller that just called in, and we're gonna get a little update on the Tiffany Moss case. Are you guys familiar with that?
And
Are you asking me?
I'm asking chat and everybody
Oh.
and you guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jimmy's
I
coming back in.
Chat with somebody else now. It was nice talking with you, and I'll be in chat.
Okay.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. It was nice to talk to you.
It was nice talking to you too. You guys have a good night, and
You too.
like I said, I'll be in chat.
Okay,
Awesome.
bye.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
So, who's our Tiffany Moss expert with us?
Well, this is Aaron, Mike's best friend.
You guys are funny.
Okay,
Funny,
so what's
funny.
up, Aaron?
So, do y'all want to listen to Aaron's phone call first?
Do you have it
I'm
recorded?
just kidding. I do have it recorded, but I'll play that a different time when Aaron makes me mad or something.
Oh, it's blackmail.
It wasn't a mean phone call.
It wasn't. I thought Aaron had been drinking. I was like, is she drunk dialing me right now?
I don't drink, Michael.
Oh
You
my
don't?
No.
I don't know if you're
Don't
telling
worry,
me.
Aaron.
I don't even know.
Enough for us.
What?
I know.
Jenny's like, I've consumed enough for both of us.
Oh my God, is that what she said? Okay, so give
Jimmy
us.
would take shots during the sidebars in our John Cook
Oh, yeah.
trial.
You got
Hey,
hammered.
I just thought of something. I thought, before I forget, I don't want to interrupt this next little portion, but hey, the night that we do this thing, we should do a mock trial, because Dre's gonna be there, Jenny, Pancake, some extra people, and everybody can be assigned a part, and we'll go through we'll do an hour of a trial.
Let's do it.
So I just want to remember that, because I've been talking about that, but that's going to be way more fun when there's a group of people together. So,
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
So give us the rundown from the beginning on the Moss case.
Okay. And Jay, Tawny sent you something via email.
I know, and I can't open it right now, but I'll try while you're talking.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, Amani Moss is, and I asked Jenny to come back because I'm not good with just rattling it off. I'm usually like, hey, Jenny, help me tell the story.
Do you want me to rattle it off?
Yes, please.
Okay. Amani Moss was a 10-year-old girl who passed away from her stepmom and father starving her to death and attempting to burn or cremate her body to hide the evidence.
That's awful.
The DFAX was notified of abuse and did nothing to stop it. Both grandparents seemed to be aware of what was going on, but again, didn't stop it. She is representing herself in a death penalty trial. The prosecution rested today. The defense rested today. They argued for an ex parte hearing. The husband pled guilty and is serving a life sentence.
So the husband was already sentenced to life in prison for his part.
Yeah. So the way that she was being punished, and even the father referred to it as spanking when he was testifying, was by being beaten by a leather belt with the belt buckle. That when she was 6, she went to school, and she had so many welts on her body that the police came to pick her up from school and took her to Gwinnett County Police Department. And unfortunately, they have been showing all of these pictures, which has been heartbreaking. The stepmother was subsequently arrested for, child. Are we buffering? Continued to be disciplined with the belt. Apparently, she didn't eat her breakfast fast enough, and so she was beaten on her neck with the belt buckle, and so she got to school and they put ice on her neck. Jenny, I didn't quite understand. They wrote her up for a false report or something.
She ran away and was found in some bushes, and he wrote her a curfew violation and
Oh my God.
another ticket for a juvenile referral.
Oh my God.
Right. So the stepmother was on probation for when she was sick. That case, and she had started starving her. The two younger children that were her biological children, she treated wonderfully. Her degree, she actually did go to college, was in child development and something with dealing with the elderly. So she was a pre-K teacher, but she could no longer teach once she was arrested. So they, the father was working 2 jobs. So he literally was leaving at 5 a.m, coming home for an hour, leaving, and then not getting home till like 1:30, sleeping for a few hours, not even in the bedroom. He would put a pallet in the living room not to wake her up, the stepmother up.
Erin, can I interject there and ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. So was the father aware of the abuse that was going on?
Yes.
Yes. Family members were aware that she looked emaciated. The father would refer to it being spanking, but then during the testimony, it became clear that he was talking about her being hit with the belt. But he wasn't home, and the sense I get is that she was bullying him. That Tiffany is a sociopath, and that she was, essentially kind of had.
Did they have other
control
children?
over him as well.
Did they have other children?
He was aware. Go ahead, Jenny.
Did they have other children?
Yes, they had 2
They
others.
have, yeah. The biological mother gave up her rights, I think when she was an infant. The father had sole custody and met Tiffany at church. And Tiffany, who is representing herself in the trial, is saying that she's leaving it all up to God. So she never questioned any witnesses, didn't do an opening statement, didn't do a closing statement. There's some... Go ahead, Mike.
Is there video of this trial?
Yeah, all day.
Yes, it's all online.
Oh, really? I got to check this out. This has got to be brilliant.
There's watch parties on the podcast group.
Cool. I'll go check it out, because that sounds so crazy that this lady... This is the one you were telling me about. Now I'm catching up to what Jay's saying, because Jay was trying to tell me about... Weren't you telling me about this earlier?
Yeah.
When we were talking about... Yeah. So
Yeah, she basically just sat there.
Yeah, let me give everyone a little quick secret, and here, take this advice from Dad. If it's more than a seatbelt ticket, you always hire a quarterback. You hire the best quarterback you can afford. If that's $200, go find you a lawyer for $200. But don't ever defend yourself. Okay, you can
Unless
carry
it's
on.
Ted Bundy.
Well, she has standby counsel.
Oh, does she? So she has somebody
Yeah.
there that can like interject if she needs a question or something.
Standby counsel came in today, or I guess it was the end of yesterday, came in and asked for an ex parte hearing, and Tiffany Moss had asked for this, but there was really no proof as to why they were asking for an ex parte hearing.
What is the definition of the ex parte? Is that like a crazy hearing?
No, so it would be out of the presence of the jury and the prosecution.
Out of the presence of the jury and the prosecution. Okay, so it would be like a test trial for her, in a sense, where she could. I wonder what that would do for them. It's out of the prosecution. If it's not in front of prosecution and it's not in front of the jury, that means it's just in front of the judge.
Yes.
And so, interesting. I wonder what somebody needs. I need to know what that means. Why that would be ex parte. I got Google. Let me Google that shit. Y'all keep talking.
It'll Michael. It'll pull up the ERPO in Colorado. So you know.
Oh, where is she at though?
She's in Georgia.
In Georgia.
Ex parte.
Do we know where in Georgia this is?
Gwinnett County. So it's about 45 minutes from where I live. And I think
It's one of the
Billy and
counties
Pat
on Live
live-
PD.
Atlanta?
Right, yeah. Gwinnett County is like a suburb of Atlanta. So the standby attorneys they also, after the first day, I mean, literally, I think Tani will agree, all of us that were watching the first day were just waiting for her to question somebody. Every time, when she didn't do an opening statement, we're like, okay, well, she's going to cross-examine somebody. And then she never said anything. And so the public defenders said, we need to step in because if she's found guilty, this is a death penalty case. They can't just give her the death penalty without anything ever being said. So these two public defenders are trying to fight for her more than she. Apparently now.
No, I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm thinking this lady's either the dumbest lady in the world or the smartest lady.
No, she thought she was the smartest person in the room.
Well, and think about what's happening. Like, right? If she has the defense or she has the state fighting for her, automatic on a death penalty or anything crazy, there's going to be an appeal, right? And so
she can't appeal though. If she doesn't object to anything.
No. It's automatic. Well, it's an automatic appeal. There'll be an automatic appeals process to go. On a death penalty, it's almost automated. It's almost an automatic that the first. It doesn't even matter if she does it. It'll be an automatic process. Did everything go legal in this court hearing? That's what they'll go. They'll go back through all the evidence just to say, was this collected right? Because they're about to kill someone, and so they have to clear that first appeals process, which is just going to look at the process in which they convicted her under. And I guarantee you that if we're talking about this, they're going to look at it and go, we can't kill this lady. Nothing was even said. And so I wonder. That's why I asked. She's either the smartest or the dumbest. And so
Tani, I have a question for Tani because everybody's been asking. This happened in 2013, and Tani is saying that it's been held up for that the woman's been holding it up for almost 6 years. Do you know why?
That's not a stupid person. Yeah, the reason you hold that stuff up is because your witnesses are hard to find. Your evidence could get lost. Your freaking cops are idiots, right? We all know this. They're not like.
Oh no.
So all of that stuff. Well, no, they can say it's airtight.
Airtight.
Yeah, I believe that, right? But that's why you would hold it up. because now she's going to go through this lengthy trial. Then there's going to be a sentencing. And then so I mean, if you're crazy and you're nuts, once you know you're caught, you give a time stand still for you. And so that's why Patrick is almost, it almost feels like a guilty man, because time is standing still for him and he's not even screaming. Like, he could say tomorrow, I'm going to do a press conference from my visitor box. You know what I'm saying? And so it's weird that people, when you are guilty, let me sit in county jail for 10 years. I don't want to go to DOC. I want that I want that pizza on Sunday night, you know? I want that I want the 120 guys that are all just floating through. Faces are changing every day because people are just coming in and out, getting bonded. County jail time is way fast time. It don't matter because it's all going to get applied in the end, right? And so she's held this up for 6 years. I mean, she's been sitting in county jail, not DOC, not prison, county jail for 6 years. And that right there is 6 years of her life that she wasn't going to have, because as soon as she gets to the DOC yard, she killed a baby. Shit, them women will rip her from one side of the field to the next. So
this trial is not a long, drag-out trial. It started on Wednesday. They've already rested. On Monday, they'll get the jury instructions and do the closing arguments, which will probably only be the prosecutors, and that's it. I mean, literally, it's just been a
don't let that gavel fall too quick. Because if it is crazy, I haven't seen it, right? I haven't gone and watched it. But if she's on trial for her life, and what you guys are saying, she's basically said nothing, and she's defending herself, oh my God, I might have to look into it. I might do my own damn watch party. Because that right there just seems to me like that's a failure, that if they let that one slide through, like it's bound to see an appeals that argues that she never got a fair trial. Now, or she wasn't competent enough to make the decision. But if she has that standby attorneys and she has all that stuff in place and they've been called in, I just read about this ex parte. It kind of makes more sense now why they would do something. Basically, they're saying they would leave it up to the judge. The judge would, it would be, the evidence would be brought in just a paper form, and then here's the evidence, and she can argue whatever evidence she wants to argue, but it's going to be made, the decision would end up being made by the judge. So,
and Connie's saying that she will be represented in the penalty phase.
Yeah, for
she
sure.
Can't represent herself. So the best way to catch up with the trial is through the Law and Crime Network that is on YouTube. They have all the days, and they kind of break it up into the different parts of the days. And it's literally, it's a pretty quick watch, because
she didn't say nothing.
How many? 11 witnesses, Jenny, the first day?
Yeah, they went through 11 witnesses, and
the defense went through. I mean, the people's witness, or the prosecution, the people, the state. Yeah,
and they were done by 3.
yeah, that makes zero sense. It kind of makes it weird. It feels weird. I'll have to listen and watch, because does she answer any questions? Like, does the judge hammer her, like, or do you hear the judge say to her, "Are you sure you don't need counsel," or anything like that?
Well,
he asked her multiple times.
Yeah, and the prosecution is making sure, like, he's saying she has the right to do an opening statement. She doesn't have to do it now, which she'd like to reserve her right to do it at some other time. And she's like, no, thank you. I mean, she's polite. She says, no, I don't object. No, Your Honor, I don't object. You know, anytime any evidence is submitted, but she just sits there and that's all she does.
She
But
didn't
they
even go
put
through
that
the
she had-
discovery.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. She hasn't even looked at the discovery.
So I'm asking, so like it's unprecedented, it's crazy, it's weird, it's wacko. Is this how the judicial system's going to work? I wonder. I'm sure that it happens. She can't be the first, right? She's not the first to ever defend herself. It's
Yeah, but
weird.
she's not even doing that. She's not even a Ted Bundy.
That's what I was saying. Ted Bundy defended himself, but he had some law school under his belt, and he studied in the law library and stuff.
So yeah, it's interesting because
So there's a caveat because apparently there was alleged brain damage at some point, but
she had brain damage.
That's what.
They're done. They're done. They're done. No, it's gonna be.
There's no proof.
Well, yeah. The problem is though, is in that appeals process, if in the sentencing process, all of that stuff, at some point, someone's gonna have to say, okay, well, we're gonna need to test this lady. And we're going to need to know ironclad that, because when you've done this now in the public eye, right? If they put her into the public eye and let this court case go out, they convict her, they sentence her. Is this a death row state?
Yeah.
Or no? Is the death penalty on the table?
Yeah, it's a death penalty case.
Yeah, so the death penalty's on the table. You let a woman not say a word during her court trial. You let her go all the way through. You sentenced her. You convicted her. You did all your stuff. Boom. You sentenced her to death. As soon as that comes across the death row thing, there's going to be someone go, test her. Let's put her in the doctor's.
But they already had to test her for competency for trial.
Did they?
She was competent.
They deemed her competent.
They deemed her competent for trial. But if now throughout the trial, this girl pulls like a Instagram fucking, yep, sure, nope, no objections, no. Can I take a selfie? Can I get that selfie moment, bitch? That time when you told the judge no objection. What is that called? The challenge, Jay?
Feeling cute.
Feeling cute.
Feeling cute. No objection. Feeling cute. No
Might defend myself this week.
Might defend myself this week. Oh damn! Please, somebody me that. No, this just sounds crazy, girls. Y'all are lying, right? They ain't really letting a woman do this.
No.
I wish I was lying, dude. I really do.
This is reality. This is not a reality show y'all are watching, a drama show.
Nope.
No.
And this is
real life.
Literally, this child was starved, and
she was 32 pounds at 10 years old.
She was
this girl
scalded with hot water.
And they're letting this girl sit up there by herself.
Yep.
Yeah, she was put her in her bed. The girl died in the bed. There was feces. These people flipped the mattress over, went and got some new sheets, and thought they could put them on the bed, and put this girl, because they had her in their computer room for a few days, rigor mortis set in, so they literally had to crunch her and duct tape her and put her in a trash can and tried to burn her. And
they showed all these pictures, DWAP evidence.
They showed these pictures?
Yes, of the remains in the bucket. Yes.
And they deemed this girl fit.
Yep.
That's the system. Yeah. Let this bitch defend herself. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Let her defend herself.
She's getting the needle. She's gonna get the needle.
Dude, what are they gonna do? But the problem is, it seems so crazy that I feel like she's watched Fracture one too many times. Like she's watched these movies that one too many times. Ooh. Oh yeah, I can defend myself.
Jenny, didn't she say to the husband that there's some crime show she watches?
Yeah.
Golly.
Shit, I don't remember.
It was like CSI or one of the crime shows. She told him,
Was
she's
it
like,
SVU?
you know,
Yeah, because the bitch probably didn't have
Literally,
cable.
She just like sits at home and watches TV and said, so we just need to follow what I've seen on these crime shows. But see, this was the one where they took her out of school. So, like, she died in October. And so in September, they decided not to put her back in school, and so they were going to homeschool her. So, because the schools kept reporting the abuse and whatnot. So that's what I was saying. I feel like in a situation where you have a parent who's on probation for abusing this child and there's multiple defects reports, how the hell is it that they can say, okay, that's cool?
This isn't. Is this the one that? This isn't the one they were at the. No, because that's here in Colorado. That it's so similar though, in a sense where, that kid that got put in the storage unit and concreted in the dog pen, and his parents had been locking him in the dog pen. Did y'all hear about that one here in Denver?
No.
I did.
Oh yeah. That happened it happened this year and during the Kelsey case and just in the last few months, because I would have never paid attention to it before. And so I know it's been in the last few months. But it's the same kind of situation because there had been multiple times that law enforcement had been to and talked to these people, and then it finally got to the point where the school had to report. They had let the sister stay, and it went for a while. It wasn't like 3 weeks or something. It was like over a span of a month or so, maybe even more, that the kid was missing. And then they finally arrested the boyfriend on something else, on unrelated charges or on domestic or something. And then the woman got arrested, and the boyfriend got arrested on drug charges, and he was a drug dealer. And they had a freaking cage that they kept this kid in. And when they got arrested, he had like 60 G's in cash. They were staying at a Roach Motel, keeping this kid in a cage. He was selling drugs out of the motel. And then they finally killed the kid, took him to a storage unit, and then concreted him into this dog pen. And I mean the craziest, like I don't know where you fathom, like it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't ever want to open that part of my brain to think where these people come up with that shit, but they did it. They did it and do it, and it happens all over the country.
So, guys, I have a story I want to share about someone I went to school with. It's kind of on the same topic.
Go for it.
Okay, so this girl that I went to high school with, after high school, she had a son, or she might have had more than one kid, actually. And social services was called on her because she was a slob. And they went to the house. The social worker came out and went to the house. This was here in Michigan, just like in the next town from me. And, her house was a disaster. And they said, you need to clean up your house. This is what you need to do. We're not going to take your kids right now, but these are the things that need to be done, and we're going to come back and check. So her and her sister were living together in this house with the children. They didn't do anything that the social worker asked them to do. Social worker came back for her check, and they murdered her in the house. They beat her in the head with the back of a hammer, the claw part of a hammer. They wrapped her up in a rug, and they went and dumped her body out at like a metro park, like a community metro park. And that's what prompted Michigan to change the laws for social workers, that they don't go out alone. They don't go alone. They go with someone, or they have a police escort. So that's my little story. And that is,
That's
a case
awesome.
where, they could have done some simple things to, keep the children in the house. And for some reason, these girls, and they're still in prison. They're in prison for life. And it's just, that case just always, it haunts me, That poor social worker, she was only in her, mid-20s. She had just gotten engaged. She was just doing her freaking job. And these scumbuckets decided to murder her,
Yeah.
So, I just want to give props to these social workers that go out to these situations too, because you don't know what you're walking into when you go out there.
Yeah. No.
It's scary.
And they're overloaded. Their cases, they have too many cases to even manage it all.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. Julie said DG mom is in Michigan. She remembers.
In the ER. That's the fun part.
The problem is like social services is fighting a losing battle. It's not a battle you can win. It's simply you can never catch up, because it's like a Darwin effect that they're trying to stop. And that's like the cruelest, meanest way to say it. But it's like people have said this far easier than me. But 100 years ago, those people don't survive. In other words, they're not here. Right? If you didn't work, you didn't do something, you weren't productive, you didn't live, you weren't a part of society, you would have died, vanished, gone. Evolution would have taken you out the box, because you had to. 100 years ago, we were all working. We have created a society today, for whatever reason, good, bad, or indifferent, man. We were talking about, I've been talking about it because we were talking about racism and everything. Like, we've created this because of the stupid troll caller. What's his name? I'll give him props. The mailman.
Milkman?
When Milkshake, or whoever his name is. But those kind. The reason these stories exist is because we created a society that sits around and does a little bit of nothing. But I don't know. There's no other nice way to say it, right?
Hey, but you know what? At least he's sitting at home doing that and not doing evil things to kids, I guess.
Who? Oh, Milkshake? Oh, no, I'm not talking about Milkshake. I don't want to talk about him that bad. I'm talking about this lady, right? These, somehow these people were able to do this, or all these people, these, in the three cases, the one Jay talked about, the one I talked about, the one Aaron's talked about. These are all similar in a sense, where it's craziness to children, it's craziness amongst people, but I wonder how we create that. Because other than being messy, or it must have been more than just messy, because they had social services telling it wasn't just a wrecked house. It must have been an unsanitary house kind of thing. And stuff. They said, well, shit, if they want to live in unsanitary conditions, that's their damn choice. That's like the homeless people that we have a huge homeless society in Colorado. One, because of the weather. We just have a huge homeless society, and housing has run amok with housing prices, whatever the excuse is. There's a lot of homeless people here. I talk to a lot of these homeless people. They are very content with the life that they're living. They may be begging, they may be starving, they may live in a tent. But
I know when I came out to Denver, I could not believe there was someone on every freaking corner.
Every corner.
And I live in Detroit, right? So I see panhandlers. It was like nothing I had ever seen.
From Pueblo to Fort Collins.
Crazy.
All the way up I-25.
I saw on the thing about the truck that hit all those cars that there was somebody who was panhandling that ended up like saving people, pulling people out of their cars on that highway.
Oh, no doubt there was somebody at that intersection on I-70. No doubt. No
They
doubt
probably
there was
watched it go
someone right
down.
there.
Who just called in?
It's Dre.
Oh, it's Dre. It's Syrup.
Syrup.
What's up, girl?
Hey, guys.
I feel like neglected because Dre hasn't called into my show in a minute. I thought maybe I offended her.
No, you haven't called into your show in a minute.
You called in the other night. What are you talking about?
Mm-mm.
No,
Jenny did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you
she
did.
ain't called your ass
What
in a
night?
while, DWAP.
What?
She ain't
She
called
ain't
your
come my
ass
ass.
in a
I
while,
don't know.
DWAP.
Less than a week ago. All y'all been having freaking withdrawals or something.
Oh, please don't flatter yourself there, Baldy.
I was getting text. I was getting text. Are you still alive?
This is
Whatever.
what happens when Jay has some Jameson and Coke.
Watch out.
Look out.
What happens when you have a Moscow Mule?
I don't know. We'll have to find out when I come out there.
Oh, dear Lord, baby Jesus. Here we go.
Oh, this is half the prison crew right here.
I know,
I mean,
right?
this is.
Wait, where's Pancake?
I know. Pancake, is he? Oh, he's here. He's here.
Hey, Pancake.
So I have to say that in chat, I did not know that Tani is a foster parent.
Oh, you know, I was gonna say about DWAP made a mention of the hang on, let me hide your guys' numbers of the, you know, them leaving those kids in that home or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
The multiple kids.
Right.
Yeah,
Which one?
706. That's Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just renaming so people don't get your phone numbers. Anyways, there's a shortage of
Oh,
there's a shortage of foster homes. So, you know, they like to try to keep the children in the home whenever possible, you know, not only for the children, but also because of the lack of, you know, foster homes that are available. You know, you can't throw every kid in a foster home. So that was why they gave those girls the opportunity to do what they needed to do. So,
no, I think that.
you know, and if you're not a scumbag, you'll do it.
No, it's a twist. No, they're more than scumbags. They're murderers. They're psychos. They flip the switch somewhere, right? And so the switch, of self-preservation ended. So when that self-preservation ended, at some point, they were willing to kill to cover up whatever they didn't want to clean up, which is crazy.
Cobb, if you and Melissa want to call in, call in.
Yes, please.
Do it now.
Oh my God.
Turn into a panel.
I will close this out by saying that in the Imani Moss situation, there were very many family members who tried to take her, and the father even said, I probably should have let them, but it was my pride that got in the way. So sometimes there are resources, and unfortunately, you know, she was just failed.
They're pieces of shit, those two parents.
No,
Or you get screwed time and time again. Personal experience.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a crazy.
It's broken. It's a system that's broken.
It's crazy. It's crazy. The fact that they're letting her defend herself.
Yep.
That blows my mind.
Well,
It's like I'm gonna be on a binge watch of this. I'm gonna have to go make another pot of coffee and just watch this trial.
Well, I know what DWAP's going to be going live about tomorrow.
What's tomorrow? No, I'm out in the nature. Y'all gonna be sucking oats through a stovepipe looking at my freaking live video. You're gonna be like, damn, I wish I could be there.
We're gonna be what?
Where are you going, bro?
Wait. What did he say? We're gonna be sucking what?
Yeah, you figured that one out, Jay. You're gonna have to push rewind. I'm going out to the Colorado Crime Con location, so I'm spending the morning out with the owners at the lodge that we're going to be staying at for Colorado Crime Con. I'm gonna shoot some video, and hopefully to make some money in another way. It's a big ass wedding event tomorrow, like where they got about 30 brides coming in and stuff. And so I'm going to go pimp myself out, but I'm really just going there to do live videos for CrimeCon. And Donald called me this morning, the owner, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm coming out there for that. And so, yeah, we're going to Florissant tomorrow in the mountains. It's going to be serene, and y'all are going to be jealous.
Are you going to go live, or are you recording it and then playing it later?
I'm going to try to go live. I don't know what time I'll be live. It'll be between 9 and 12 in the morning sometime. I'll probably do a live video on the drive out there and talk about, I don't know, cell phone pings or something. But it'll be fun. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to talk about this case.
I haven't seen the place at all.
Oh yeah, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
It's freaking gorgeous. And right now it's super gorgeous.
I've consumed a beer. Oh, yes.
Well, thank you, Aaron, for the update on that case, because I didn't watch the whole thing like you guys did. So I want to thank you for doing the watch parties in the group as well, so everybody can watch.
What group is this?
That'd be my group.
Am I in that group? Oh, Jays for Justice podcast?
You're in that group?
I think so.
Yeah,
well, if you're not, you're going to have to ask for permission to join. No, but you guys can join the group on Facebook. If the mods will put up the link. But we have watch parties all the time. When I see like shit happening, I'll start a watch party.
I understand. I see all y'all's watch parties.
I know you do. You know who lurks in there? Oh, I got a funny story real quick before we move on. So Lance lurks in my watch parties.
Yes,
I've seen his little mug. I've seen his mug pop up at the top of the screen. And the other night when I was doing the high speed chase watch party, he actually streamed it on his YouTube. While I was doing my watch party, he streamed it. And then he deleted it, but
wow.
Cheers to Lance.
Here's to Lance being Lance.
This crew's getting out of hand already.
Two things. First of all, Long Crime Network on YouTube. They don't have the annoying break if you watch the replays. Tiffany Moss is the case, and then also become a Patreon of Jay, because she's doing all this fun stuff.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for bringing that up, Aaron. I'm going to talk about that for a second. I revamped my Patreon. I spent an entire morning working on it, and I've got some really cool benefits now if you become one of my Patreon supporters. We have a private group. It's called Bluebird, or what is it called? Blue Jays?
Blue Jays.
I'm getting confused because it was Jaybird, but it's called the Blue Jay group. So I've got a private group, and there's a lot of other benefits, like we'll do like private live chats and things like that, and discounts for merch, all kinds of good stuff. So check out the Patreon page. There's all different levels of donating to. You can donate $1 and get into the group. So we'll have fun.
Ching.
Yep.
We will have lots of fun.
Hey, guys, I have to say, we've done an awesome job. We've gotten 13 thumbs down.
Oh, yay! Hey, in the YouTube world, thumbs down is still
clicks.
Yep. You're still engaged. It's still considered engagement.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Aaron. You are the bestest.
Absolutely. All righty. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Quiet.
Awesome.
Awkward silence. Awkward
Awkward silence.
silence.
I'm waiting for Cub, Card, and Melissa B to call in.
Yeah.
Yes, Melissa B. Melissa B, if you can hear my non-Chicago booty, you need to call in.
Who's
Melissa
that?
B has quite the accent from Chicago there.
It's her, bro.
Oh, that's Dre. I'm sorry, Dre. I just came out of Zoom looking at the. I was like, who the hell's talking now? Who just joined? I got you. No, I'm with you. How are things up there in the East Denver area?
The plains, like near Kansas.
Yeah, like Kansas.
Yeah, we're about to blow away. But I'm just going to tell you, like, I still don't know what the hell a French prim is.
Melissa B has to call and explain what a French room is.
Melissa.
What room?
Mike, have you ever heard of a French room?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like a mud room.
No, it's not. No, it's not. In Chicago, they call it a French room. That's their front room. They kind of say it like French room. That might be her.
No, like that's what I'm saying. Like where you take your jacket off or your shoes off.
No, it's like a living room for us.
Oh, like a living room.
That's where you watch TV and just hang out.
Yeah, it's like a family room or a living room.
10.
Why did I hear the doorbell but no one's there?
Ting
Did you
tong.
hear and shit?
Didn't you hear the doorbell?
Where the hell
heard the
did we
freaking
just
doorbell.
go to the French room?
The French room. Frunch, like munch, French. French room.
This must have been for a private conversation. It was
It's a
from
private
previous
conversation. No, for real, that's what they call it. In Chicago. I
I'm
never
with
knew
ya.
this. I never heard.
Jay,
Yes, ma'am.
Yankee is from Chicago, and he's like, yeah, we call it French rooms. And I'm like, what the hell? We've been married for 5 years. I've never heard you call it a French room.
So he knew
What the hell?
French room?
Yeah, we knew what French room was. And I'm like looking at him like, really, dude?
Uh-oh, okay. All right, wait a second. Before you guys start talking,
Hello?
who's 913?
That's me, Kebby.
Okay, Kebby. All right, and then so 708 is French room?
Yes, it is.
That's your name on the screen officially. Okay. What is up, ladies?
What?
French room. Oh my God.
Oh, that's Melissa B.
I know. French room. So, Melissa, explain to us what a French room is.
Shit. A French room is a front room where you sit on a couch and watch the TV in the front room.
French room. She says it like it's normal. French room. So those of you who aren't from Chicago and call it a living room or a family room, that's what she's talking about.
I'm so lost right now. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah. So anyways, what's up, ladies? What's up, Kebby?
Nothing. Just sitting here. I'm calling in because Melissa made me. French room made me do it.
French room?
Don't blame it on me.
Well,
Do not
listen,
blame it on me.
This is their first
don't
time
blame it on
calling
me.
in, so that's why they're being a little awkward.
Yes, very awkward.
I love you guys, though. I love you guys. Do you have any questions for DWAP? Come on,
No,
everybody's
I
got a
don't.
question for DWAP. He's got some splaining to do. Ask him
What
some questions.
is
Explaining to do.
what do I need to explain?
I don't know everything. Oh my goodness, you two crack me up. All right, so Syrup,
Yes, ma'am.
what is going on? What do you want to talk about? What we need to have like a little topic now that we have a panel here.
I kind of, you know what? I kind of feel like I don't know. My gut feeling is telling me that Patrick will plead not guilty on the 24th of May.
Really?
Yes. It's kind of my gut feeling. Like, I kind of just have this, like, intuition that he's going to plead not guilty.
But is that even a hearing where he would plea out?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the hearing that he's got to have. They've already postponed his arraignment. So this is his postponed arraignment. They postponed it because they hadn't finished the dump. And I mean, this is the dump bluff, right?
Oh, right.
So they
Right.
kept searching that dump until that arraignment date. And they wanted to keep him on the hook. They thought they were keeping him on the hook, right? They thought they were keeping him on the hook. But I think all along he knew they weren't going to find shit. And so he just goes and he's like, I'm not making a decision on a plea when they haven't even finished their search. See, he doesn't have to plea until all the evidence has been brought forth. Now, if he pleads not guilty and then they set a trial date, as soon as evidence comes forward, like if there's new evidence, all that new evidence, pow, 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 has to be sent to them. But as we've become later and later, longer and longer away from the crime, you have to assume all the evidence has been turned in. And so...
and that's another
yeah.
too. I don't... Like another thing that I'm kind of wondering, and I don't want to sound like a ding dong, but I kind of feel like they were searching the landfill for Kelsey's tooth that KK claims she threw away.
I think you're absolutely right. I think they had to do something because they did a lot of nothing, and so. And that right there, that got them a lot of free cheeseburgers and pizzas and tacos, and a lot of people got thank yous, and they got a lot of press. They got a lot of cool. They got to play with a lot of cool equipment. They got a lot of training in. A lot of stuff like that happened. Did they actually? They really didn't even do what they said they were going to do. The amount of searching, and then they.
And as far as we know, they never searched out there at Almond Joy's area.
Yeah, I think because Almond Joy's area.
Is that not the right spot?
No. Absolutely no. I know exactly where the barn is compared to where I was at on Almond Joy's. I found that. I got to go out there and drone that now. Because I found it all and everything. And so, what was I going to say? Oh, no, they haven't searched out there because it's a lot harder to get a search out there, to get permission and a warrant to search that place. They got permission to get up there by the barn. They got permission to go up there and verify KK's little story about hay here, barn here, he could use that tractor and stuff like that. So they got permission and pictures of all that beautiful stuff. That's what I got to go get pictures of. But
I guess I don't understand the magnitude of how much land is actually out there.
Yeah, no, you just don't. It's inconceivable. Like the best way to put it is relative to the state of Colorado, everybody lives on Highway 25 or on the western slope, the highway that runs up and down between Montrose Delta, Grand Junction. Like the mountains are sparse towns, right? Very sparse and very small towns. Like Woodland Park, it's 7,500 people, 8,500 people, maybe 10,000 people in the county. Maybe I think with women and children, and so it's sparse. And then when you get out to where you're talking about there, it is not only sparse, it becomes national BLM land surrounding that ranch. And those plains that I actually did a video today where I showed a picture of the plains and they were covered in snow. I mean, it goes from, you could get lost forever. forever and ever.
Hi, Michelle.
If you got a horse, that's the thing with Patrick. I talked to people that grew up with Patrick and grew up in the rodeo with Patrick and gave me pictures and, you know, were like, I don't want these in my scrapbook anymore. And like physical pictures of Patrick when he was a kid. And I was like, yeah, you think does Patrick have spots, you know, in these woods? Everybody who grew up here has spots. And here's the deal, my buddy, people don't know this. I interviewed a guy. I mean, they do know this because I interviewed him, and he went to high school with Patrick, but he's also one of my best friends here in Woodland Park, and he grew up here. And he didn't know Patrick. He was either a grade under Patrick. Yeah, he was a grade under Patrick. But he remembers Patrick at the parties in the woods. And so Patrick would show up. He was, you know, he was a ladies' man. He was dating one girl, cheating on one girl. He's been cheating since high school. You know, this ain't something new to Patrick, the whole cheating boyfriend thing. And that's from his girlfriend's mouths, you know. And so he knows these woods better than anybody, though. I mean, at least he has the access to them better than anyone. Anybody with a horse in Teller County can go anywhere in the woods. On my dirt bike, I have to stay on marked trails. But on a horse, the law is you can go anywhere you can fit. And so they don't look at horses like they do dirt bikes or mountain bikes or bicycles or four-wheelers or any of that. So he's a horseman. If he had a body, threw that body over a horse with him and walked off into these woods, you might as well be walking back 100 years, 150 years. So
who just called in, you guys?
He just cleared his throat, whoever it was. I'm here. I'm here to support.
Okay, so we have Richard, aka Dweeb.
What's poppin'?
Hey, Dweeb. And then we have Michelle join.
Wow.
What's happening?
Group chat.
Can we just get all 98 people to call into Zoom real quick? And
Don't start
we'll just do a 98 person panel.
Don't start.
We could survey 100 people. We survey 100 people. It is kind of a party.
Oh my
line.
god! I got.
I have a question for you.
Who's this, Jenny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you get to ask questions. What's the question? What's the question, Jenny? What's the question, Jenny?
Have we ever figured out why the hell Beaver Ponds was mentioned in Slater's testimony?
No, this is one that bugs me. Because everybody in this chat's going, what the hell are beaver ponds? What are you talking about, beaver ponds? Why? Well, Sam, I sat across from Sam, and I argued with Sam. I was like, Sam, where'd they throw the keys? He said the gulch in Idaho. I said, my wife says the beaver ponds. No. So why do they remember beaver ponds being mentioned in court? Why do two people remember beaver ponds being mentioned in court? And I've decided either Nikki and Jenny were smoking the same weed, or they said beaver ponds and Sam wasn't smoking the same weed. But either way,
Son of Sam.
Sam, yeah, I don't know.
Fanboy Sam.
Fanboy Sam.
Sam is a reporter.
Twitter Sam, whatever you want to call it.
Reporter.
Sam Kramer.
TV Sam Kramer. I love Sam Kramer, by the way. Not love in a weird way. Just the idea of
Thanks for
of his
clarifying
story.
that.
Ladies, Sam. I'm gonna spoiler alert for you guys. Sam has wanted to be a news anchor since he was 6 years old. He is only 24 years old and he's already hit the network. So that is an astronomical career before Sam. You guys are going to be watching Sam in 10 years and y'all are going to be like, damn, dude, I remember him in Kelsey's Case. He's going to be top of the network. So that's just a tip. I ran into Sam's boss. This is a true ass mother effing story. And Sally, the lady from the petition, can verify this story because people will call me a liar. And so I'm sitting at Cafe Leo with Sally. We're sitting there talking about the petition, and right, Cafe Leo's right in Woodland Park. I'm talking to y'all like y'all know where Cafe Leo is. And this guy gets out of the truck and he points to us and goes, "I saw you on KOAA." And I thought he was talking to me. And nope, he was talking to Sally. And Sally had just been on the news with the petition. And this guy is the head news director for Sam's network. And I didn't know that. He goes into the cafe, comes back out, then he tells us who he is and why he had saw deal. And we argued over Sam. I was like, Sam's going to be gone in 1 year. So it's over with for him. He's out of here, going to the top 50 market. Mother fudgers. Say, I'm Sam's fanboy now. I've been calling him fanboy. I'm actually Sam's fanboy.
Oh my God, I can't.
You love Sam.
I think Sam is so passionate about his work that like he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. And like when I see people doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, I get passionate about it. I love that. Because when people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, you get the best out of them. Like that's when they're doing what they're created to do, then you get the best out of them. And that's why Sam went to the top. That's why he shined above all the other little stand-up anchors that were covering Kelsey's case. Mm-hmm. That's why he shined in the Dateline. That's why they came to him with the Dateline. I'm gonna tell you right now, down in Colorado Springs, he's on like a hit list among the anchors because he's so young and got to do the big network deal. So it's like, you guys think the YouTube drama is hot? They will kill you. They will cut a bitch down there in the networks. I promise you. So when you kids get fighting about the drama on YouTube, I'm like, man, y'all wouldn't make it in the crazy world.
Oh, come on.
Come on now, Jay. Don't be lying. You know I'm telling the truth.
I think YouTube's got to be worse, man.
I don't think.
I agree.
No, I don't think they know. I don't think those network people know yet. They're still cutting throats amongst each others. But in 10 years, they're going to be obsolete. In 5 years, they're going to be obsolete. Maybe 2 years. In 10 years, I think you guys are going to be solving crimes. And when I say you guys, I don't mean me. I mean you, because I don't know where the hell I'm going to be in 10 years. But I think in 10 years, social media is going to solve murder cases. I think we'll know that a murder happened. We'll know who committed the murder before the arrests are made.
So everybody in chat wants to know who's on the panel.
A shitload.
Human beings.
So Richard, are you there? Richard in front room.
Yeah, I'm here.
So what's up, Richard? What are you up to tonight?
What's up with you?
Nothing. I'm glad you called in.
I'm just listening. I'm listening to the J premiere.
To the J premiere?
Yeah, this is a premiere. This is vibe. This is love.
DWAP, this is one of my 17% of males.
I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like you're sending me some guy love because I keep getting guys calling me.
Guy love?
Definitely. That man love.
Richard, do you watch DWAP?
No, I watched them today. Yeah, I watched them today.
You're new to DWAP then?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
See, you're welcome, DWAP. I brought you another male.
What does kinda sorta mean?
I can't explain.
Well, exactly. That's what I was trying to figure. I'm kinda sorta new to DWAP. What does that mean?
You know, it's a flip flop answer.
Yeah, right. Like
it's a non-answer is what it is.
He's afraid to admit it.
And I ask him that question, he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I've been watching for four months now." And then when you ask him, it's like, "I'm kind of, sort of watching."
Richard,
where are you from, Richard?
I'm from Connecticut.
Connecticut. Is that so? That's where you live. You're there now.
Yeah, that's where I live. Yeah, that's where I live.
Nice.
He has a white picket fence and everything.
No. Come on.
We talked about this the other night. I said, when I think of people in Connecticut, I think of a white picket fence, like this perfect little home.
What's Connecticut famous for?
Nantucket?
Nantucket?
Baboons.
Dweebs?
Baboons.
Dweebs?
I'm a baboon. A dweeb. I am that too. Yeah.
Y'all done lost me.
Insiders. They know what's up.
Oh, okay. Is it like a sports team?
Yeah, the baboons, the New Haven baboons.
I'm kind of lost too, so.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
No, it's all good. We'll fill you in.
He said he's a baboon. This is all from the other night. Richard is a baboon.
I got you.
Yeah.
So you guys have lobsters in Connecticut?
No, I don't eat fish. No. Not me.
Well,
Are you a vegetarian?
No.
So you don't eat, but you don't eat fish.
So that makes me a vegetarian?
No, I was just wondering. I was just trying to figure it out. So you're like, okay, so you just don't eat fish at all.
Yeah, no, it's not my favorite meal.
Gotcha.
That's for sure. But lobster isn't a fish. That's very true.
Right. Lobster's not fish.
Well,
I love lobster
shellfish,
tails.
right? It's in the shellfish, maybe?
Thank you.
It's seafood, right?
Seafood.
Shellfish.
That's a whole other word.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're getting interrogated, bro. You didn't call into this panel think you were going to be quiet, did you?
I got interrogated last time, too.
Oh, I'm just catching up. Y'all should give me the rundown. I got you. That's the problem. I wasn't here last time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, poor Richard.
No,
He's like you. He's like lost in a sea of women.
Oh, well, how you been? Like, when did you get into this true crime shit?
I was probably into it ever since in Connecticut when the Sandy Hook shooting happened.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's when
yeah.
I started getting into it. That was pretty bad.
That thing was crazy.
To talk about it. Yeah, it really was. It was bad.
I remember. What year was that?
It
wasn't that long ago.
The answer.
Oh, okay. It wasn't that long ago, though, right? It was only within the last 5 years?
I believe so. Or actually, was it 10?
It's been a while, you
10
guys.
years ago, was it?
I'm trying to think. I was trying to think when Sandy Hook was, like, what I was trying. Like, I try to think about.
It
those
happened in
massive
2012.
things. Yeah, so 2012. Cool.
Yeah,
So was that near your house, Richard?
No, well, I mean, it's about 35 minutes from my house, but I was working on a job site that my boss's sons were in the school. So it was kind of close to home with my boss, and it was pretty hectic. But, yeah, it's about 35 minutes away.
Okay, so it really did happen then.
Oh, Jay was one of the conspirators. She must have been. See, that's the problem. Like, these people start conspiracies about these tragedies.
Well, here's the thing. I'm just going to say, Jay, I'm kind of with you sort of on this, because if you went to the school, it wasn't even like it existed, to be honest with you. It was like the school hadn't been taken care of for all these years, and it was in a pretty good town in Connecticut. It was a town that you would think like the streets would have been taken care of, the schoolyard would have been taken care of, and even on like facts of the school, they weren't even up for like 5 years before that. Really? They had no student count, they didn't have anything. So I'm with you, Jay, on that. That it
weird.
Could possibly
See,
be
I didn't know that,
conspiracy.
Richard. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of people. No. When I say that, there's a ton of people that are on both sides of the fence on that thing.
No, I have been.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that made me question it, but that was not something that I was aware of. That's interesting.
No, if you look up Sandy Hook School, on the internet. Now, to each his own. I don't know if the internet's true or whatever or whatnot, but if you look up Sandy Hook on the internet about the school statistics, it doesn't show anything prior. I don't know if it changed up now, but prior to that, like I said, it didn't show anything for 5 years that they had any student count, anything.
Interesting.
So it's weird.
It is very weird. Very weird.
But see, like, the only reason I get weird about that is because, like, there's already people, like, talking about Patrick Frazee's case like it's not even real. They're like, there are content creators creating content on YouTube going, yep, this Patrick Frazee case is smoke and mirrors. That's actually a green screen. That's not even a real thing, you know. And I listened to literally 15 seconds of a clip someone sent me, and I was like, this lady's loony. I don't know, like, and then she was saying it was CG. So I just know that, like, when these things happen, it's crazy. But
Mike, like, what would be the reason for faking the Kelsey Barris death, right? Like, these school shootings and things that happen, there's always an agenda. There's always something pushed behind them, and that's why people, you know, they get to wondering, you know, what is there a motive?
Well, first of all, like, I'm one to believe, like, I just believe that. I'll say this: I believe 9/11 was some sort of inside job, right? Well, if you believe that they pulled off 9/11 that way, well, then yeah, they could do whatever the hell they want. They could do a school shooting. They could plant or fake, or if you believe they did what they did terrible on 9/11 at that point, then anything's possible.
Anything's possible,
right? But the thing with Sandy Hook though is what's different is it was little babies, you know. So it's like it's so hard to question if something like that is real because it's with children. So to me, and to probably everybody, it broke their heart and it broke my heart. But how you could say to yourself, how could you question something that would happen to little children?
That's
it's just so hard to.
That's the whole point. And it's just like Oklahoma City bombing, right? There was a daycare in that federal building. So a bunch of kids are in that building, and it tugs on the heartstrings, and it makes you not question, right? Because you feel guilty questioning when little kids.
Oh, no.
Of course.
You know.
Jay will be the first one to tell you, like, even with all these cases, like, I felt something with another case that I'm working on right now. I was like, man, am I buying rumors, or how am I buying into, you know? So you're always looking at all these things, because this is why I don't buy into all the trolls or the people who type in text, because I can't see, feel, touch, or taste them, right? Like, I can't see, feel, touch, or taste you guys, but I'm talking to you, right? And video now gives us the ability, like, that's a real person, you know? And so easy to talk to people in a real time scenario where, like, when these internet things hit, I know for damn sure, I am 100% sure that every other story you read has some sort of falsehood in it, you know, and whether it's completely all false, I don't know. There is an actual scientific effect, or there's a scientific name for this, but I've said it before. Like, if you're an expert at something and you're reading the paper, like if there was an article about hospice, and Day's reading this hospice article, and she's like, that's not true. I know that's not true. I deal with that every day. And she'll be like, this article is full of shit. But then she'll turn the page and she'll be like, well, I didn't know that was happening in Africa. Yeah, well, man, that's just amazing. You know, and so we do this as humans where, like, we will take at face value one thing, and then we'll call something else phony, or we'll call this phony, when really there's probably a lot of phony in a lot of stories. That's why I can't wait. I can't wait. I can tell you all this right now. I've said this. I never, ever was the first one to call out the Sonic video, by the way. And even though Dateline portrayed it that way, and they portrayed it, I was actually talking to another restaurant owner of a guy who served coffee, but they made it look like it was the Sonic video people, right? I talked to Sonic people. I did release the Sonic video first, simultaneously with Jay. And, it's just funny how things were going to be stories that are going to be told. I can't wait for Dre and for Jenny and for Nikki and for anyone else who's gone through these court trials. And I'm sure Jay and all them are in Dre for sure. And Jenny will come down for a trial, and they're going to go sit through this stuff. And then when the documentaries come out, they're going to be like, that's bullshit. That's a lie. That didn't happen. That's drama. So we know all that shit happens. So
right.
It's
well, I want to address a couple people. There's 3 people in chat that said conspiracies to them are like trolls. And I want to take, because I'm well rehearsed on the Oklahoma City bombing, right? Yep. So I don't look at that as a conspiracy theory. I look at that as seeking the truth, okay? Because we know there were other people there. We know there were others involved. And if you're a victim of that bombing, then you should want the truth. You shouldn't want to be spoon-fed some story. You should want the truth, and a lot of victims do. So it's not really a conspiracy theory. There's eyewitnesses that saw other people with Timothy McVeigh that day. So where are those people, and who are they?
It's awesome.
But you have to question things. You can't just take what is spoon fed to you. If you don't question anything, you're never gonna learn anything.
Oh, absolutely. With Patrick's case, let's just say it. None of us can agree on what KK is telling is the truth, right? But we take bits and pieces of it, and we've said, we've said, oh, this guy's guilty in this way, shape, or form, or we've taken bits and pieces of her story, and like, are we ever going to know the truth? No, because law enforcement's not going to change their tune now.
Right.
Like they're committed. They're committed to this story to the end. This is actually one of those cases where I can see. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It would be interesting to know if Patrick will ever tell his story. Like, even if it's
anything else, though,
years from now,
you hear half of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You hear what they tell you, and then what they tell you, it's for your perception to believe or not. So, of course, people are going to be on the fence about this, and people are going to be on the fence about that, and gratefully so, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Right.
But I just want to say with the Sandy Hook thing, I know it was real. I know it happened. Well, I don't know these things. I believe that it did happen, and it's horrible. And I'm not trying to get anybody in an uproar and get anybody upset by my comments.
Oh,
nobody's upset.
You're going to be on Irby Herb tomorrow. They're going to be like, DWAP and Jazz for Justice combat Sandy Hook. Yeah, don't worry about it. You done joined the panel, my bro. You could even get named.
You're
right?
officially sucked in.
Oh, no.
I love it.
I'm kidding, bro. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
Richard, I totally get what you're saying, and I mean,
I'm
I think
YouTube famous like you guys.
Oh, I know, right? If YouTube ends, if YouTube ends tomorrow, guess what I get to do? I get to go camping. I'll be so excited. If YouTube crashes tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, "Oops! It's back to my mountain life." Kids, we going fishing? Let's go.
Whatever.
So, there you go.
Damn, DWAP, you got it going on, brother.
Dude, I live at 8,500 feet in the mountains. It's beautiful. Have you seen my wife?
No, brother. Sorry, I have not. It's okay.
That's a loaded question, DWAP.
That is. How do you say that to Mountain Man over here? Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro.
I spent an entire day with her.
Oh, no, I'm just saying I'm a blessed man is all I'm saying.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
Blessed. I'm just lucky. I'm just lucky.
No,
I hit the lottery.
I'm a blessed man too.
There you go. Oh, good. Say it out loud more. You know, the more times you tell your wife she's beautiful, the more beautiful she'll become. That's a true statement. That's just a true statement. I'm just letting you know. So tell her she's beautiful every morning, every evening, in between, and in 10 years, dude, she's gonna be a hottie.
She's already hot. But I know I don't have a wife, but
shit! What? Your husband then? Tell your husband. Tell your husband.
He doesn't have a husband.
no.
Sorry. I didn't want to offend. I didn't want to offend anyone. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, DWAP.
I am so glad my video is not on right now.
You always end up with your foot in your mouth.
What are you talking about? Every word that came out of my mouth just now was planned, calculated.
Yeah, right.
Perfectly placed.
Since when?
He just walked right into that. What are you talking about?
He kind of did. But you know, that is a true story.
I absolutely do. You know how many hours I talked today?
Probably 23 out of the 24.
No, but I probably did, let's see, I did 2, 4, 6. I did 7 hours of talking.
Hi, my name is DWAP, and I will pull on your vocal cords. Just
Oh my
kidding.
God.
I'm just kidding.
What was that? Do you have an accent too? I hope that you start screaming racial slurs here in just a second.
No, that's Richard.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's Richard. Okay.
Yeah. We haven't had any new callers.
I had a racial slur guy today that called in. He was like racial slur, racial slur, racial slur.
Did you see that, Richard? It was like Milkman all over again. But he was from like the UK.
Yeah, definitely had a UK accent, definitely had some sort of, and I called him out on it, and he was like, he starts telling this story. I got to go back and listen, actually, because halfway through his story, I was like, what's happening? And then it was, and I was like, oh, speakerphone off.
It was the same thing that happened to me. The guy called in, we were talking about, our topic was your most embarrassing moment. And he called in, and he's like, this is Tony. And I was like, okay, I've never heard of a Tony. So I was kind of like, all right, Tony, like, what's your story? So he started to tell this story, and then he did the same thing. He blasted out the N-word. And I was like, are you kidding me? And then he called. It must have been Michelle. Was it like 30 times?
Yeah, this guy kept calling back from different numbers, and I just kept answering and letting him just talk to himself. But then somebody called me for some business shit, and I was like, you're live with DWAP or Dad with the phone. She's like, this is such and such. I was like, oh, shit. I got to get your money. Get your money real quick. Sick.
I really loved how you kept answering the phone. You're like, your voice goes up an octave. Are you there? Are you still there?
I got to tease him a little bit, you know?
Yeah, it was bad. The guy was obviously a moron, ignorant.
Oh, he was so obnoxious.
It was horrible. That's where the whole dweeb thing came in, because Richard was like, cut it out, you fucking dweeb. And I was like, dweeb? I haven't heard that word since 1985.
Oh, that was funny.
That was crazy. That was a crazy night for sure. And I was like trying to, keep my finger on the mouse to get him out of there as soon as he called in.
Cheryl Teese, did I use my little basement line on him?
You did. You said, "Are you there? Are you sitting in your little basement?"
I liked it. I like that little line. I'm glad I used that line. I've been thinking about that line.
Yes, anxiety has anxiety shows in the chat, has some family members that are missing, and they think it might be a homicide. I asked her to email me so we can look into it. I'll help you any way I can, anxiety. And I'm really sorry if family's going through that. Awful. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, so since you weren't with us the other night, and Michelle was not on here, and Front Room and Kebby and Syrup, all of you guys, we have to kind of pick up, because I want to know what your guys' most embarrassing moment of your life is. Oh, there's... Thank you, Anonymous. You know who that is, right? That's the group Anonymous. They're my new BFFs. Don't mess with Jay.
Yeah.
She's in with the group Anonymous. You know those guys that wear the masks?
The hackers?
Yeah, don't mess with Jay.
Don't know them.
You don't know who Anonymous is, dweeb?
No, not a clue.
Oh,
Just
come on.
Just Google Anonymous.
Everybody knows who Anonymous is. Anonymous is right now, they're making a lot of videos about the armchair detective.
If Jenny...
Effective, you mean?
Yeah.
If Jenny and Jay can explain to us who Anonymous is, then they're not good at their job.
I just said the guys with masks. Okay, so thank you,
Anonymous guys.
They're anonymous.
Who's Anonymous?
They're anonymous. So, all right. So I want to know y'all's most embarrassing moment, and I want to start with DWAP.
You're going to have to give me a second.
Okay,
I'm trying to think about that.
All right, Michelle, most embarrassing moment.
Oh, yeah, give it.
Come on, everybody has one. Dre gave us hers. That's right. She flashed the water park at 8 years old.
Yeah, I totally just shared that shit. I'm sure that shit.
The splash pad?
I'm not even gonna I'm gonna share that shit.
Okay, so Dre did give us hers. All right, so Kebby or Melissa, you have
I want to hear Melissa's.
All right, Melissa, what's yours?
Too.
Dweeb, you gave us.
I already said mine in chat, and Jenny read it out for me, and I will not.
Oh, that's right. You did share yours. Oh, that's right. That was back in your heyday.
Yes, it was.
I remember.
10 years ago.
Yeah, Melissa and the paddy wagon.
That's right. That's right. Well, the best one that night was.
I read that on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Yes, the St. Patrick's Day story.
Oh, fuck.
Kebby, do you have one? Is Kebby
Oh, that means it's my turn, isn't it?
It is.
It is.
It is my turn. Okay, so we we used to have a place at Truman Lake, and we had a camper there, and my husband got really drunk one night. I mean, really drunk. I went to bed with the kids. We're in our little trailer thing that we stayed in, and it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and I get a knock on the door, and some lady's there, standing there, and she's like, your husband is naked with my husband in bed. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
What?
No, he thought it was our little camper. He got in the wrong camper and got in their camper, and he thought he was in bed with me, but he was in bed with her husband. Oh my God. I'm like, okay, so I go down there and I try to wake him up, can't wake him up. And so some other guy, because her husband was drunk too. He couldn't wake up. They were both passed out. They didn't care. Well, so we had to get another guy. Oh no, I don't know. They weren't really cuddling, but they were laying there. But anyway, I couldn't get him up, and I'm so embarrassed because we are new to this little camping spot, whatever, and we had to find somebody to literally bring him back, carry him back to our camper, and I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I'm so sorry. They thought it was funny. And the next day, my husband had no clue what happened. He's naked in our bed, but
what did he say when you told him?
At first, he had to move out. He's like, pack it up. We're leaving. We're never coming back here again.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it was embarrassing. That was really embarrassing. And they were making jokes saying the buck stops here. talking about our trailer or camping spot.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's
Pretty
awful.
freaking embarrassing. I could never go back there.
Okay, that
I have a
is
story like that
embarrassing.
from Block Island. Oh my god, I forgot all about this.
Oh my god, Michelle, did
But
you
there
think of
go,
one?
guys.
That was great.
Not really. When I was in third grade, and we were doing the state sit-ups thing or whatever for gym.
Yeah.
Shut up, Melissa.
I already know.
And I farted.
I think I know where the
Wait.
story is. I knew it.
You farted while you were doing the
You blew
pull-ups?
it.
In third grade.
You blew it. After, you
Was it the pull-ups, like where you hold on to the bar?
No, it was like the sit-ups where they sat on your. You had a partner and they sat on your feet.
So did your partner go, oh my gosh, she farted?
She said, "Ew."
Okay, that's embarrassing. Even if it was third grade.
This is great. Keep going.
That's it. That's all.
Thank you,
I got
Michelle.
his hair blew back and his eyebrows got singed. Oh,
I love it. I think the
Oh.
best story we got the other night, though, was Winky.
Oh my god. Oh my
oh,
god.
the toilet paper
It
trailer.
was a soda.
Winky, who was smoking joints and got...
A doobie.
Yeah, she was a doobie. She was smoking doobies, and she ended up upside down in her G-string in a restaurant.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and that's
Ground.
Winky. That
In
is
the
our
ground.
That wasn't the weed. There had to have been something else.
She blamed it on the doobies. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
The ground round.
She was
was
at the Ground Round restaurant. Yeah. All right, DWAP, you're up.
I just don't get embarrassed. I've been
Never?
trying to think about it. Like I just don't. When
Dude,
I
come
quit
on.
giving.
You showed
crap.
Texas Red, the Marlboro Man pictures.
Yeah, like that doesn't embarrass me.
Well, think about back to those times. You had to have done
I know,
something.
but like I quit caring long before that shit. You know, if I was like thinking of embarrassment, like it's more like stuff.
I guess when you're a rodeo clown, you don't really get embarrassed.
When you're a clown, that's like that was one of my first careers. That was like my first
sorry.
job, you know. And
Sorry,
so
Gina,
like,
I thought they were playing the funnies on you.
no, that's for real. I was a professional
rodeo
clown. People paid me to be funny. Paid
I
me
can
a lot.
see it.
Paid
That's
me
where
a
the
lot.
name Texas Red comes from.
Yeah, his name was Texas Red back in the day.
And so like when someone says, "Well, what's embarrassing?" I immediately want to go to where did I feel shameful? Like when I was ashamed of something, but like embarrassing is funny. It's funny stuff, right? So, like where you're kind of embarrassed, but I don't get embarrassed. I can't think back to a time that I was in a situation where I was embarrassed.
Did you ever embarrass your wife by doing something?
Oh, hell yeah. I've embarrassed
Okay,
my
give
wife
us one
by
of
things
those
I say
stories.
all the time.
What was the most embarrassing thing you did to make your wife like embarrassed to like be with you right then in that moment?
Well, you probably will have to ask her what stands out in her mind, right? Because there's going to be two stories, but there's going to be two sides to every story. Like I could say one story and she'd be like, "That didn't bother me," but like the things that I probably when I just bring shit up, like I have some tattoos that I had blacked out, and like the first time I met her dad asked me about one of the tattoos, and I was like, "That's my first wife." And like I was dead serious, so like she got a little embarrassed about that, you know.
Oh boy, I'm sure every day she has a story to tell.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah, every day, every time. Like I mean, yeah. So like I've spent my life trying to be ahead of that, right? To try to stay on top of that. So, because if you get embarrassed, if you give a shit what people think, then they control you, and that's just not. There's no. I even give like even since this YouTube stuff, I'm like, man, this my whole life I've been building up for this drama. These people don't have a clue what's about to happen. In a sense of like you can come at me with anything.
Yeah, you don't really
and
possess any fucks given, so
I got zero fucks given a long time ago. What's that song? Have y'all seen that funny viral song where it's like zero fucks given, I'm all out, I'm sold out, I got rid of all my zero fucks a long time ago or whatever, you know. Some stupid ass. It's a funny ass song. You gotta listen to it. Zero fuck. Casey, Casey was in here, she'd know what the hell I was talking about. Because I think somebody sent it to me. But yeah, if you let people control you, like your emotions, that's even deeper than embarrassment, because embarrassment is like out of control, right? You did something and now you're embarrassed because you had zero control over how people responded. And so
I think it's interesting, though, a lot of the stories that were told were like when we were kids.
Yeah, and I was trying to think back. I don't remember much. Well, I mean, like, again, embarrassed. I can tell, I'll tell y'all a story. Y'all want to know? This is going to be a weird ass story.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. All right, everybody get out their sage.
Yeah, y'all probably, this is going to throw y'all for a loop. Oh, this is going to be something that you've never heard about Dad with a Phone.
How long is this story, DWAP? Oh no, seriously.
Yeah, so let me title the story, and then you can tell me. Okay? So here's the title to the story. When I was 12 years old, I spent 6 months in a mental institution.
Oh no. When you were 12?
When I was 12.
Hi.
Silence.
So how long do you want this story to be?
As long as it takes to tell it. Do tell.
Perfect. That's all I needed to know.
Lord.
Shenanigans. Wait. Okay. So here's what's about to happen. I'm about to stand up and walk out of this room because I need to go fill my coffee with some more coffee and some whiskey. And y'all can
I don't think you need any more coffee.
No, y'all can make guesses on what's about. Okay, then I'll just get some whiskey, and then y'all can make guesses with what's about to happen.
No, please dilute that with some coffee.
Oh.
Are we ready for this story?
Nothing will surprise me at this point.
Stay in Classy thinks he's full of it. I don't think he's full of it. I think this
he's not.
Kids,
no, he's
kids
not.
Stay in school.
His what? What'd you say, Richard?
Oh no, I said kids stay in school.
Oh.
Stay in school.
Oh my God! When he walks away from the panel, it's like.
Who's up?
It's like so quiet.
What did I do?
It's like crickets. We're all waiting. I know we're all waiting.
Run amok of the school. So
we're all sitting with our mouths open.
No, I think he's totally serious. I don't think he's lying.
I don't know.
When he's got to get whiskey and more coffee, he's dead serious.
What? What's up? Right now, y'all think I'm joking?
No, I don't think you're joking, but some people in chat think you're full of shit.
They think I'm full of shit.
No.
You know, like the only it probably will sound like a full of shit story, but like I would swear on my mother, my mom will tell this story. So I'll ask my dad one day when he's live. I'm gonna just to verify, and I'll just throw my dad off. I'll be like, "Hey, Dad, tell the people about when y'all put me in that mental institution for 6 months." And that would throw my dad for a loop.
All right, let's get this story.
It's a good one.
All right.
So, to be honest with you, the quickest way to get to where we're going, I got put in a mental institution parents' will. So, like the cops showed up at the house and arrested me and took me to a hospital in Fort Worth, Texas, called John Peter Smith Hospital. And It was back in, let's see, I was 12 years old. I was born in 1979. So somebody can tell me what year that was. I'm no good with math, but I was born
91.
in. I'm 40. I was I'm 40. I was born in 1979, but I was 12 years old when this happened.
So 91.
So 91.
I was graduating high school.
I thought you said you're 91.
Oh, no.
I thought you said you're 91.
No, 1991.
1991. So the year is 1991. And my dad is head of a private police force for a man named Kenneth Copeland. If you know anything about televangelists, he's one of the biggest televangelists ever to walk the planet. He's a multi-million billionaire, got pilots everywhere, all that stuff. So my dad is a head of a private police force where he travels to these big conventions and when they collect money and the offerings and all that shit, my dad transports that. My dad one time took $1 million cash back from Anaheim to Dallas Fort Worth. So my dad's away on convention, traveling with this preacher. And my mom's at the house. I have been kicked out of school. So I've been kicked out of school, middle school. And I'm now, there's 2 weeks left in I think it was my 6th grade year. Yeah, it had to have been my 6th grade year. There's 2 weeks left in my 6th grade year. And my mom tells me she wants me to mow the grass because I've been kicked out of school. And she's like, boy, you're going to be doing some chores around here. And I'm like, I ain't doing no grass mowing.
Ooh.
And, I ain't mowing no grass. And I went in and I remember I barricaded my door with my dresser, or like I was like, I'm not mowing the grass and no one's coming in here telling me otherwise. And then I can't remember what happened, but between me not wanting to mow the grass, it escalated to an argument with my mother. And my mother then called my dad, and my dad said, well, honey, you're just going to need to call law enforcement. And when the law enforcement got there, I was big into those model rockets. You know, the model rockets that you shoot up in the air and the parachute comes out. So when law enforcement got there, I was like, bitches ain't coming to my room. So I set these model rockets up, like the kind that shoot fire out of them. And and then they like pop a little parachute, not like firecrackers, but model rockets. So I set a couple of these model rockets up and told the cops, don't come in my room. I was a crazy little redhead 12-year-old boy. This is why I said school was a dangerous place, because when you put little boys together, they do crazy shit. Their frontal cortex isn't developed. They're like, oh yeah, burn the cat. Cool, sounds good. You know, shoot the BB gun at people. Cool, sounds good. You know, they play whatever. I didn't play video games. I did model rockets, whatever. So, cops show up. I know y'all think this is bullshit, but it's great. It's so fun to tell this story in an uninhibited way. And you just asked, what's the most embarrassing moment? What's more embarrassing than admitting you were checked into a mental institution? So, and so then something happens. The cops come in. I push a bunch of buttons on the model rockets. I end up in the back of a squad car. I end up in the back of a squad car at age 14 years old. And they're like, or not age 14, age 12. I'm 12. I'm 100% sure I'm 12 because of what happens next. So I'm below even like adolescent stage, right? And so they tell my parents, they tell my mom, listen, we either have to take him to jail or we have to take him to the hospital to get evaluated. We don't have a choice right now. So, like, that's what they tell my mom. My mom flips out. She's calling my dad. My dad's in fucking California. And my dad says, have him take him to the hospital. Smartest move, Dad. That was the smartest move you ever made. Because if I go to jail, it's a different deal, right? They take me to the hospital. I'm just going to the hospital. It's not a record. It's not like a whatever. There's no criminal stuff. so they take me to the hospital, and they're taking me to the psychiatric center, right? But when you first check in, it's 24-hour evaluation. So they put the juveniles, the kids, the adults, they put everybody at this time, and you can check, it's not a secret, John Peterson Hospital, they put everybody all together in the same thing. And that's the first time I saw like craziness, like naked people walking out of the rooms that were crazy, real crazy people. But I also met like the teenage girl that just cut herself, right? Like the girl that got in trouble for suicide or cut herself, so she got checked in and had to get evaluation. So there were some other adolescents in there and stuff, and it was crazy. You're in the mental hospital. You're like in the loony bin that you see movies about. And I was 12 years old, and so from the evaluation portion, it was like just a 24 hours or 48 hours with these adults and stuff. And I wasn't in a room with an adult. I had like a private room or whatever that they put you in, like a hospital room. But then during the day, you would just play like checkers with crazy people. And so 24, 48 hours in that adult section. Then they moved me. It was weird because I remember it like vividly. There was a tunnel that went under the road into another hospital. Like it was a tunnel between two buildings, but it was like a major, a regular road. This tunnel went under. I remember going through this tunnel to this other hospital, and that was the juvenile facility. And it was, and they put me in with the kids. So from ages 5 to 12, that's what they put me in. But I remember being there the very first day, and some kid like was picking on me or something. We got into a fight, and the nurse said, Michael might be better off in the my birthday is April 20th, so I was always the youngest in the grade. Like when you go into school, I was always just past the cutoff for the grade, and so I was always youngest. And they were like, well, maybe Michael would just be better with like the 13 to 18-year-olds. And so they ended up moving me from like the kids area into the 13 to 18-year-olds, and the stories I could tell. So that goes on. It could go on. I could tell you 100 stories. It's the first time a girl ever jacked me off. It's the first time craziness. So I could tell you. I could tell you stories.
Where did that come from, DWAP?
Well, I had to throw something that shocked you. So, So they admitted me into the hospital. I ended up having to go to court because they did file criminal charges against me when I fired these rockets at these officers in my house. And so they filed criminal charges. But what happened is my dad, thank God my dad could work some magic. And instead of criminal charges, they said, well, he'll do an evaluation period in the mental hospital. And so instead of getting charged with criminal charges, I did 3 months in the mental hospital. And this is where they try to drug you. They try to give you, anger management shit. They try to do so. But check this out. This is a funny story because this is what it went from 3 months to 6 months, and this is how it went from 3 months to 6 months. So when they checked me into that adolescent facility, I was now with 13 to 18-year-olds or 13 to 17-year-olds, and they put me in a room with a guy named Lamont Duncan. And later in life, Lamont Duncan would end up on Texas Most Wanted gang members. He was one of Texas Most Wanted gang members later in life. But at this time, me and Lamont, he was a mulatto guy, he was a Mex guy, super built, muscular and stuff. And he was like, what kind of meds did that do on? I'm 12 years old, this kid's probably like 16 or I was like 16 or 17. He's like, what kind of meds they got you on? I was like, I don't know. Like, if you want, they can give them to me. And so I started giving all my medication to Lamont, right? And for 3 months, I gave my medication. He's getting high on lithium and shit. I don't know. I'm a 12-year-old, right? This kid knows what the hell to do with these medicines. So I'm giving my medicine to this kid every day. And then sometimes evaluation, My parents are there, my mom and my dad. There was a family friend that was at the doctor's evaluation. There was a lawyer there. There was somebody from the state. And they're talking about me and how good I'm doing. Michael's attitude is awesome. We got him on the right medication. They're telling my parents, we're going to have to keep him going to outpatient treatment and we need to monitor his medication. And I'm listening to this. I'm a 12-year-old kid. And in my mind, I'm going, man, you dropping your medicine. That shit's stored under my dresser in my room right now. I've been giving it to Lamont for a minute. Like, this is going on in my head. But telling my parents that the medication has, changed Michael, and he's such a new kid, and he's got such control of his emotions. And in my head, the whole time, I'm thinking, these motherfuckers don't know shit. And they get to the end of their thing, and they're like, we're gonna release Michael. And I said, and I'm all happy and everything, and they tell me, okay, we're going to let you go get your stuff or whatever. I had some drawings, some books or whatever. And they let my dad come with me. And I tell my dad, I said, Dad, I don't know what the hell they're talking. I'd say what the hell. I'm like, Dad, I'm not taking medicine. And I showed my dad this pile of medicine in my room. And my dad goes to doctors, and like almost over in a matter of seconds, they were like, well, we're going to have to recommit him for 3 months. And they fucking recommitted me for another 3 months. And I can tell stories for days about the mental institution. And these are stories that I've never told outside of a few short circles. And so you just got that one. Hey, haters. Hey, Irby Herb, Inquirer. I bet that's coming out, right?
You're going to be on Irby Herb for sure tomorrow. Well, I have a question that goes along with that. So the last 3 months, did they make you take medicine?
They did force me. They check.
They watched you to make sure you took it.
And they did that before. But the thing is Lamont showed me how to cup medicine, not in my mouth, but in my hand. He would say, act like you put it in your mouth, drink and swallow, and then show him an empty mouth while you're holding the medicine in your hand. And so I never even put the medicine in my mouth before. I would just show me this little trick. We practiced it in our room. And the cool thing about Lamont is he was a gangster from he grew up in the gangster life. And when you're in a hospital, there's crazy people around you. There are real crazy kids, and then there are people that are just they cut themselves, or they suicide watch, or the hospital or an institution is better than home life. There was this one girl, she told me that, and she was probably 13, 14 years old. She's like, I've been abused my whole life. When I go to the hospital, it's a relief, And she would go to the hospital just to get away from the abuse at her family. So she would get herself checked in. She would tell her teacher she wanted to kill herself just so she could get checked into a hospital. And this was back if you said you were going to kill yourself, you were getting checked, Back in the 90s, it was they were trying to figure out all this ADHD. They were shoving medicine down kids' throats. It's not like they're doing that today or nothing. They don't still do that today.
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all. They don't do this anymore. But no, now every kid gets medicine. And so, again, when you get checked into a mental institution at 12 years of age, can you imagine what happened my next year going into school? People thought that I tried to axe my mother. There had been rumors that Michael had axed his mother, and that's why he got checked into the hospital. And so, at that point, I pretty much didn't give a shit about what people. You know what I learned in the I learned a lot of shit. I told y'all one thing I learned already. So, I learned a lot of shit in that hospital.
Jesus.
So, there you go, kids. There you go.
That's pretty deep. So, whatever happened to Lamont?
Lamont is serving prison. You can look him up. He's serving a life prison sentence in Texas, Huntsville, Texas. Lamont Duncan. He would have been about 4 years older than me, I figure. So he's 30. He's 40, 44, maybe 45, somewhere right in that age. And here's the deal. So I'm 17 years old now. This is how I find out about Lamont Duncan. I'm 17 years old. My dad is head of the auto theft task force in Tarrant County. So he's over Tarrant County's Dallas-Fort Worth area, and my dad is head of the auto theft task force. They had all these cool ass vehicles, and I used to help my dad. I used to play the bad guy with my dad. So when my dad was the SWAT team leader, I would be the bad guy that would run into a building and hide from the SWAT team. I've been chased by Belgian Malinois to the point where I've almost been bitten by police dogs just in training, because I trained with the SWAT team. With my dad was head of the SWAT team, and so I'm at my dad's office, and they had these big ass posters up, like the 100 most wanted people in Texas, and then the 100 most wanted young gang members, and the 100 most dangerous criminals, or whatever. And I'm looking at this poster, and all of a sudden I come across Lamont Duncan's face as one of the most dangerous gang members, and it freaked. I was like, Dad, I was in the hospital with that dude at 12 years of age, and he was 14, it is just something that was there, and I remember it, and it's forever ingrained in my life. And there you go.
Jeez, oh Pete. So what's he in for life for? Murder?
Probably murder. It was a gang thing. I didn't.
Wow.
I don't know. But he was as gentle as a teddy bear. Like as far as when it comes to, like, he didn't never threaten me or try to do anything weird.
DWAP, are you the baby of the family?
No, I'm the middle child.
You're that explains it. That explains it all. And you're sandwiched between two sisters, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And my baby sister, she was at house parties that my dad's SWAT team raided. Like, think about that for a second. Like, my dad's out running warrants, and all of a sudden he's down at the command post out in front of the house, and people are like, "Look, Captain Dalton, you need to get in here." And all of a sudden his daughter's sitting on the bed. The baby got away with everything.
Yeah, I'm the baby of the family, so I know how that goes.
But
so what did your dad say when you were like, "Hey, I was in the hospital with this dude"?
He kind of laughed it off. I don't know if he even believed the hell out. I don't even know if he believed me, or whatever. Thought maybe I was telling him. But I in my mind, like, I know, it's just funny because the people's paths you cross, and this was years later, because I was 12 and then I'm 17. I just remember that was about the age I was helping my dad a lot. And so I remember being at the Auto Theft Task Force headquarters to see that poster. And it wasn't much like, I didn't go look him up, or anything. Hey, buddy, we were cellies at the old mental hospital, But it was an impact on me because the decision I made with Lamont was like, dude, I'll give you my meds. I don't want to take that shit anyway. And then I went through an entire 3 months, no medication, to go into a room of doctors to tell my parents that they controlled me with medication. And I'm like, these guys, I control my temper. I didn't get mad because I didn't want to get mad, or whatever. And so that's kind of how that whole, like, Lamont ties to that story, because I got recommitted because that bitch had me say medicine for him.
Oh my God. So the moral of this story is that DWAP was a juvenile delinquent. At the age I don't think
anybody ever doubted that shit. I tell people.
This just verifies it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, DWAP, you never disappoint. You know that? You just.
This is a real, like, again, I didn't see this coming. We didn't talk. This isn't something you knew about me.
No, this wasn't pre-planned. That's for sure.
I don't know that I've ever even talked about this ever.
Well, you know, it is. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, but, like,
because I'm sure it was like kind of traumatizing at the time.
Well, when you think about it, it's sad if it has a sad ending, right? It's sad if it wasn't because my parents, like, I didn't come from an abusive home. My dad, if I heard my dad raise his voice more than one time or two times in my life, my dad was an even kill kind of person. He didn't yell. My mom yelled and screamed, she was the screamer of the family. And so, as far as getting mad, so I had a great, like, life as a kid growing up. I mean, my dad was a cop in the heyday, right?
Yeah, I think you needed to learn a lesson or two, actually.
Well, probably.
You probably
But I'm glad.
You probably should have went to the clinker that night.
No, because once you get locked in the system, I think that's what saved me, because I never got real in trouble in the system until I was a little older.
All right, we'll save those stories for another night.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story, right? Like I'm not ashamed of that shit at all. It makes for the stories I'm gonna tell till I'm 80, buddy.
So who just called in? Who's our newest?
Hey, it's Soul for Music 79.
Hey, Soul for Music, what up?
Hey,
Do you have a story for us?
No, I was listening to DWAP tell his story about going in the mental institution, as he says. But I spent some time in that, and it's funny. It was when I don't know.
Sorry, no, I wasn't laughing at that.
No.
I was laughing. I got a text. It was funny.
No.
Sorry.
I was just saying. I spent a little bit of time for an eating disorder, quote unquote, but the way they handled it was just crazy. They were like, "Oh, you need to eat every bit of this food on your plate, and we're going to watch you for 2 hours. And after that, well, who knows?" It just was, I don't know, the way they handle things I don't know, I guess you call it an institution, but it's just weird. It's like they couldn't handle it, you know? I was 15 when I went in, and I don't know. Again, I was a kid.
How old are you now?
40. I'm gonna be 40.
Yeah, so you're you're right around you're my age, so
yeah. So it's like they didn't know what they were doing back then, and the people I was surrounded by. I mean, it was so crazy. I felt it just was weird. Like, here I am in this place with these people with really bad issues. Like, we're talking schizophrenics and people waking up in the middle of the night. Like, I don't want to hurt you. You know, you need to leave my room because I don't want to hurt you, my roommate. You know, and
that's
she was
scary.
an elderly lady who lost her daughter, and I think she had like suicidal issues. And I mean, I woke up in the middle of the night like, what's happening? Like, this woman wants to kill me, and where are you people? Oh, you're out at the desk, just chilling out, you know, eating bonbons, whatever. You know, it just was weird, you know. And
it was what it was. They were practicing. They were practicing.
Yeah.
Everything was doctors practice medicine.
Yes.
And back then, there was this thing going on where the pharmaceutical companies, they literally were trying to come up with drugs like the ADHD medicines and that was back. They didn't have labels for all these disorders or whatever. But
it's true.
No, it was. I will never, like, it's fun for me now to look back. I'm like, damn.
You look back and you kind of laugh, like, okay, kind of not funny for them, but it's kind of a weird experience. Like, okay, went there, been there, done that. But when you tell people, oh, hey, I spent some time, you know, on the 4th floor, as we call it here. I'm from New England. I don't know if you heard that in my accent, but I just heard it. Law. But, you know,
do y'all have a front room?
We had a smoking room. We had the rubber room. You know, there was like this room that you could. Oh, this is what they did to me.
Oh, you're talking about in the hospital. You're talking about a rubber room in the hospital. Oh yeah, the padded room.
Dude, they actually said to me, they're like, well, there's nothing we can do for you here. So you can either sit in that room, the rubber room, and do paperwork, like meaning, I don't know what they meant, but some kind of paperwork, or you can leave because we can't help you anymore. There's nothing we can do for you here. Like, well, what? Like, I'm here for a problem, yet you're not willing to help me. Like, it just was really weird. It was sketchy through and through.
So someone in chat just said, so instead of like getting therapy or something like that, they basically just like told you they were going to sit there and watch you eat.
For real. I'm not kidding you. Like, they legit put, I don't know, a turkey sandwich, a bag of chips, a fruit cup, and whatever else on this tray, like a normal hospital tray. And they sat there. I had to eat every bit of it. And they sat there and watched. I had to go to the bathroom with a person. Like, if I had to pee, they followed me. It was weird. It's like they didn't know what they were doing. Legit, I promise. It was crazy. Like, and this is, like, helping me in what way? Because the problem is food. So you're making me eat food that is a problem for me, and I have to sit here and suck it up and deal with it. It was crazy.
Can I ask you about that?
Go ahead.
So, like, when you had like what they called it an eating disorder, what was kind of like your what was your
I was bulimic.
So bulimic. So you would throw up.
Yep.
So, I've heard people explain things this in different ways. Was it like was it voices that told you to throw up? Was it something in your head?
No. Just honestly, it's almost like a food addiction. Like you I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I still struggle to this day. You know, like, I'm good now, but I still have my moments where I'm like, get it out of your head.
So would you just
is it like a binge?
Everything.
Like a binge and purge type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're like, I want a steak and cheese. I gotta have a steak and cheese.
So you would eat that, and then you would immediately just go and throw up?
You wouldn't eat just that, though.
You eat a lot of stuff.
You eat a lot. You eat something, and then...
Yep.
So that process between you already knew I knew. You knew that when you were eating, you were like, I'm going to throw this up anyway.
Yep. Absolutely.
So it was almost like it just became a habit, addiction, a thing that like it happened every time.
Food. No.
So you would enjoy and take in some substance and not throw it up too.
No. See, it's so hard to explain. I have a friend who weighed 350, 400 pounds, and she explained it like her side of it, where she would eat like cookies and chips, and she couldn't stop. It's like she would take a bite, and it's like, I just need more.
That's how I feel when I eat Oreos. Those fuckers got cracked.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
when I eat Oreos, I can eat
a lot of people are like emotional eaters, and also they eat like that too. It's like a type of it makes them feel better when they're eating, but then afterwards, they're getting fat and
totally.
So you were avoiding the whole fat thing.
For me, it was I would do it and I would feel full, and I'd panic. It's like that full feeling. To this day, I don't like it. Like, if I eat anything and I get that full feeling, I panic. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it.
I wanted to wonder what that mindset was.
Sometimes it's control too. Was it like a control thing for you?
Yes, totally, 100%. It's a control thing. Like,
stay under control. I got you.
Yep. It's weird. I call it a disease just because it is such a hard thing. I don't know if it is or not. I'm not a doctor, but like, to think of it like that, and to think of it like people who overeat, people who are big and food is an addiction to them, I can relate to that, because it's that all you think about is food, but at the end, you're just going to throw it up. It's like, I'm craving this and I'm craving that. All right, let's do it. But in the end, it's not going to, it's going. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really sad. I'm sorry you deal with that.
No. It's good now. I'm good now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not an issue so much now. I mean,
Well,
but
I'm glad you were able to work through
it was bad. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard, and I weighed. God, I was like 105 pounds.
Wow.
And size zero jeans, and here I am now. I'm 40 and 145 pounds, and I'm like, whatever. I don't care anymore.
Can I ask you a question though? Like, you know how like people that are anorexic, right? They have this image of themselves as that they're fat when they're really not. Did you feel like you were fat, or did you just want to keep your figure? Like,
nope, just wanted to keep my figure.
Okay.
I knew.
Yeah.
Even to this day, like again, I gained weight since then, and I lost a bunch of weight, but there was reasons behind it. I was drinking a lot of hard cider, and I'm not gonna lie, but a lot of calories, a lot of carbs. But that once I quit that, I dropped 25 pounds. But I wasn't doing it just for the weight. It was like, this is unhealthy, you know? So, but I guess the point is, like, when you get to a certain age, I guess, I don't know, maybe not, but you get to the point where you're like, okay, you know what? It doesn't matter anymore. And my weight doesn't matter. What I look like doesn't matter. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not for everybody. Some people are older than me and they still struggle with the disease and they still have a hard time getting past the, binging and purging and all that. Because it does. It becomes an addiction. It's like you crave things. It's so hard to explain. I don't know. I'm not looking at chat. I don't know what people are saying.
No one's saying
guys,
anything. They're saying that they're glad you're okay now.
No, I don't even want sympathy. It's not about that. For other people who struggle with it, I don't know what they think. I don't know if it's like I want cookies and steak and cheese or whatever, chicken, fried chicken.
Where on the other hand, an anorexic doesn't eat.
Yep. Right. Exactly. So that's what's hard is they're two different things.
Totally different.
So, but it's very real. And I think to this day, I worry about kids. Just an example, a friend of mine was all about getting her kids Fitbits. And I'm like, they're 8 and 10.
Yeah.
Like, is that good? I don't know, because the focus on the Fitbits is running, go, walk, steps, go. I don't know.
I think the exercise thing is good for kids. I think that, probably
is fantastic.
Like now,
Absolutely.
I don't think kids get enough exercise. Most kids don't.
I agree.
So maybe that's a motivator for like the exercise part of it.
Yep.
But if you start worrying about calories and getting your kids, focused on that, then
Right.
Yeah. But, I raised a daughter who's almost 19 and I saw her go through her teen years and she was never fat by any means, but she would say, "Oh, I'm getting fat." And I would so try to pound it in her head. Like, you're gorgeous. You're beautiful. You're not, she's not like rail thin. Like, some girls are just genetically rail thin. But I said, you're beautiful, embrace what you have. You have a beautiful body and you're not overweight and you're healthy, So it's a struggle.
That's the part that maybe I was missing. I mean, again, I'm not looking for sympathy, but like my mom was a hardworking, she was busy all the time. And I'm from a divorced family, so there was a lot involved. Mm-hmm. So maybe you saying that made a difference, and good for you. You could have changed the path of your daughter's life. You could have,
Yeah.
But my sister wasn't that way. So again,
well, it could have been like with your whole family situation. Like there were so many things happening that was something that you could control. Like you couldn't control your parents getting divorced.
Well, that's what I wonder. Is it like a control thing? You're right. Again, not trying to make this about me because it's not why I called in.
No, I'm glad you called in and shared.
I think you guys are great. So,
I think you're great. Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thank you guys.
It was nice to talk to you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Aw, what a sweetheart. DWAP, I have a question for you from Camo Country Girl 8. She wants to know, and I had to ask a couple questions to get this clarified. She wants to know how mad, and I don't know if anybody was, but how mad was the YouTube community that you called the husband of a missing gypsy during a live? I don't know if anybody was mad, but she wanted me to ask you that question. Did you?
I don't feel like anybody. I guess there were some people that were like, that was illegal or something like that you recorded him. And I was like, well, he had a Colorado number. I'm in Colorado, and this is a one-party state when it comes to recording conversations. So I haven't, as a matter of fact, the Filipino community has thanked me. Like they're dumbfounded by the idea that some stranger in the mountains cares about a woman. So nobody really got mad at me. They really, a lot of people thanked me.
Yeah, I didn't think you got any backlash for that.
Like I think the only backlash was like there was a couple of people that were like, that's illegal or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, because supposedly he was in California.
Yeah, but you called a Colorado number, so.
Well, I didn't care anyway. I mean, if he's gonna take me to court, I'll go to court. So
okay, so she just said not the subs, the big people. YouTube, the organization. I don't know where that's coming from.
Well, nobody's taking it. That the video's still up.
Yeah, YouTube's not doing anything about that.
YouTube didn't take it down.
Yeah, I don't know where. I guess there was no backlash from that. Who just called in? 406. Hi. Who's that?
This is Love and Life at Home, Carla.
Hey, Love and Life.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm loving life too.
I'm good.
I like your name.
Oh, thank you.
What's up?
Well, I found the murderer from the from the mental hospital.
You what?
Oh,
you found Lamont?
That Michael was talking about. Yeah, Charles Lamont Duncan or whatever.
You found him? You found Lamont Duncan?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes yeah.
He slashed the woman's throat for the thrill of it.
I slept next to that dude for 6 months.
Oh my God.
Him and two other kids. Yeah.
Dude, I should do a summary of Lamont. I haven't thought about Lamont, and I haven't thought about that story in 10 years. When someone asked me the most embarrassing moments, I was like, well, I can tell you. Well, I don't know. I kind of like, something that I've always someone said something. Listen. Someone said something in chat a second ago. They're like, you all don't know what happened 5 minutes ago. Well, I've never lived my life looking behind me. And even working through 15 years of working in a relationship with a woman for 15 years. And my wife comes from a very, very crazy background. Like if my wife told you her stories, it makes my stories look like a church boy. And so I've always tried to I've always working through with my wife, even things that she's been through. I'm like, baby, we can't look backwards. You can't dwell on this stuff. You can't think about this stuff.
Change it.
Yeah, I can't change what happened to me as a kid.
Can't change what happened. Right.
But when you turn 40 and you look back on your life, even right now as we're talking about the most embarrassing moment, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that 6 months in my life. It wasn't like I forgot about it where I don't remember it. It's just I hadn't opened that file up in my brain in 10 years. And so it's a weird place to be in your own brain to open up that file. Just like who's Richard? Is that who's with us or Robert? That Richard, right? I'm trying to remember your name. I'm terrible with names. So Richard said something like, Richard said something. Yeah, Baboon said something a second ago that was like, I forgot about that. You know, like I forgot about something, you know? And I was like, oh yeah, we forget about a lot that we've been through.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. Sometimes all it takes is one word and it can bring back like, this whole story.
Yeah, no. And like that story of Lamont, now that you've said I found him, oh well shit, now I got to go find him. I got to see what the hell. Yeah. Oh no, he's a mulatto, a black kid. He looks white, but
black.
Is black.
He's black.
But he looks white. He's a light skinned white. He's a light skinned black. And his mom was white.
I didn't have a picture of him. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't have a picture of him. I got you.
Not here. I didn't keep looking, but yeah.
I want to find a picture of him.
Yeah. Him and two other teenage gang members.
Wow. And what year was that? What year did he go away?
He went away, took more than an hour flight. Okay, April of 92 was when they killed her. And August of 93, looks like he went away.
A year after DWAP met him.
There you go. He's 16, 17, 18.
The guy came home and found his wife's body.
God.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
That's craziness. Yeah, because it took him a while to make that poster. So he made because that poster I saw years later, and I can't remember. It was like the 100 most dangerous gang members, or the 100. It was something like that. The youth gang members. It was one of those posters that was like the 100 gang members. But I remember,
and that would be one of the most dangerous. Someone who kills for thrills, you know.
Yeah, and I don't remember why he was in the hospital. Like, I can't remember why. I don't remember the story. I remember his mother, because I remember his mother came and visited a few times. And, that dude, we had a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
I saw some crazy shit.
Wow, so that dude has never lived life as an adult outside a prison cell.
No, and before that, he was very institutionalized.
Wow.
He had been in trouble. Right. He had been in trouble before because, like, the whole medicine thing, he knew. Like, as soon as I walked in the door, I remember 12-year-old kid. I had just showed up at this mental institution, been there 2 days. I just got into a fight with the kid down the hall, and they moved me to this new, older. I was now in an older wing, and I remember him. As soon as I walked through the door, he's like, "Do you take your medicines?" I was like, I don't know, man. They haven't even given me medicine. They're like, okay, dude.
He had this little redhead 12-year-old.
Yeah, dude. I was freckle-faced little kid, man. He's teaching me how to cut my medicine.
I can't.
Oh yeah, dude. I could. I'm gonna do a whole story. I'm gonna have to do a whole YouTube series about my time because there's some craziness that went down. I can now that I'm opening up that file. I'm like,
what city was that hospital in?
Like and subscribe.
I have an embarrassing story.
Yes, tell us.
Okay. This one, well, you won't be able to relate too much, Michael, but years and years ago, my first husband was in the service, and I think we were stationed in New York then, but anyway, we had medical and everything. We're all military. So it was time for my annual trip to the doctor, get everything done, boobs checked, pap smear, all that crap.
All that fun stuff.
So you go in. Yeah, all that fun stuff. And you girls, you'll know, you go in and the doctor finally comes in and he sits and he chit-chats with you first and asks you some questions or whatever, and, just makes chit-chat basically. Then he just crawl up on the table, get those legs up. Anyway, he goes down to the business end and just as he goes to examine me, he says, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" And it like caught me off guard. I was like, do I say yes or no? Like, couldn't he have asked me that when he was looking at my face?
So he got down there to do the exam, and he was like, "Hey, I think I know you from somewhere." Oh my God!
He was like, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" I was like, "Wait a minute, you should ask me that when you're looking at my face." Well, it was his wife and him were taking dance lessons, and we had taken lessons too. So I guess that's where it was from.
Oh my god!
Anyway, that was my embarrassing.
Yeah, I would have been embarrassed too. Because it's already awkward enough getting that exam, and then to have the doctor be like, "Oh, hey, by the way,
I totally found Lamont Duncan."
You look familiar.
Oh, did you find him?
I did, and capital murder, Tarrant County, right there. It's in my dad's jurisdiction. Everything. Oh my gosh, this is him. And
Bedford,
Bedford, Texas, right there in Tarrant County.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so crazy to me now. Like I'm gonna have to do a whole. I gotta go find out. With Lamont now. No,
drug dealer. Oh, he's drug dealer gets 99 years in prison. Oh,
so
wait.
They have his Texas. They have his Texas DOC number.
Oh, that's another
1975.
Oh no, that's a different.
Is there a mugshot of him?
No, I haven't found that yet. But I'm thinking that maybe if I go to Arrest. Do they do it for a while?
Yeah.
Arrest.org.
They should update it in their system like every few years. What city was that hospital in? That you were in?
Fort Worth, Texas. It's called John Peter Smith Hospital.
So this kid was probably like just a victim of the inner city life.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sound like he was involved.
It's sad, That's sad to me.
It is, it is, and I remember that being like, I was not that maybe that was my lesson that I learned, or maybe that is the story in which I think pulled me from one way or the other is that that I remember seeing that, and he was away and I was sleeping on the other side. I was in the same room this kid was for 6 months. So
you know what I think you should do, DWAP? I have an idea. Why don't you write Lamont a letter and see if he can call you?
Oh, yeah.
That would be crazy. I would do it. I would do it.
Because you know what they have now? Like, you don't have to snail mail. You can do...
it's email, right?
Yeah. It's electronic.
So, and if and it has all his, DOC number and everything.
Yeah, you download that app, JPay. It's called JPay, and you put in their prisoner number and it pulls them up.
I should do that.
Be interesting.
Yeah, I would love to talk to him for sure. And I think I could definitely, if I write the letter right, I think I could definitely at least.
Get his attention.
Get his attention. Yeah, get his attention.
We're talking. This is 28 years later.
Yeah, but still, it's one of those things that would shock the hell out of him, right? Dude, you remember back in the hospital when I gave you my medicine?
Yeah, and I'm sure he does remember you.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Date of birth. 11/5/75.
Yep.
Date of birth.
Wow, he's 2 years younger than me, so he's 43 years old.
Yeah, so he's 3. So I figured he was 3 or 4. I figured he was 4 or 5 years older than me, but 3 years older.
This one actually has a parole eligibility date.
He might, and that's 2027.
2027. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, in 7 years or 8 years.
Yeah.
Charles, that's what his name was, but he went by Lamont. Charles Lamont Duncan.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Although it says offender is not scheduled for release, will not be
you know what's
capital
really
murder
crazy?
with a deadly weapon.
It's crazy that you remember his name.
Like, well, I think, because the poster, because I would have remembered Lamont. I probably would have remembered Lamont Duncan, but I remember seeing the poster years after I was out of the hospital, and my dad will remember when I yelled at him. He's in his office, and it was on a Saturday. I remember there was no one else in the police. They were at my dad. It was a special unit. It wasn't. They didn't have They met at the top. Their offices were at the top of a bank building. It wasn't. They were an undercover agency, and so we were up there at the top of this offices, and I remember just looking at the posters, and all of a sudden being like, "That's Lamont," you know. And I remember telling my dad, "Dude, this guy was in my room. This is the guy I gave my medicines to," you know. And so, yeah, it's crazy.
It sounds like he did a really bad killing, though. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
This dude found his wife dead. Wow.
Yeah. With a slashed throat. Yeah.
For no reason.
The thrill of it.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, well, stealing or rape or what, No. For the heck of it.
Yeah, that's messed up. I'm looking for his mugshot right now.
Yeah, I'm looking for it too, because
I know I couldn't find one. I haven't been able to find one.
I want to find that poster. Because he was on that poster. So yeah, if we can find his mugshot, I'm gonna tell you right now, he's a real light skinned black man.
Oh, he's real light.
And yeah, like he was a mulatto. His mom was half white, and so, or his mom. Yeah, I think his mom was half white, and his dad was black. So, it wasn't like he was. He's a light skinned black guy. I'm gonna look him. I'm gonna search him out. Somebody will end up sending me something because people are awesome. And so,
hey, you know what the name of the prison he's in right now? You know what it's called?
What?
Michael.
No, it's not.
I shit you not.
I saw that.
I shit you not.
No, you have got to be shitting me.
Yeah, did you see it?
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I saw that on one of the websites. Yeah.
Yep. Current facility, Michael. I'm not even joking.
Texas Prisons DOC inmate number 051437. That is crazy.
That is really weird.
So we just need to get a mugshot. Mugshot coming soon.
I know. I can't seem to find it either. But, here in Michigan, the state prisons, they update their mugshots every couple years.
TDC number. Maybe
so people know what they look like.
Exactly. Exactly. Because there's I don't know if you guys ever knew about the Stephen Grant case. He lived right by me, so I look him up to see how he's changed. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Stephen Grant was the one that killed his wife, and he cut her up and put her in garbage bags and went and dumped her. I don't know if you guys ever heard about that.
Imagine.
But yeah, he's in his facility name is Michael. Of all things.
That's crazy.
That's too much.
Well, this is a shenanigans show, so anything was gonna happen. It was gonna happen here.
So the Texas prisons, they don't have a website?
Sure, TDC has, all right, Texas Department of Corrections.
It didn't come up right away.
If you go to
Texas
Criminal
Department
Justice,
of Criminal Justice.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Offender information.
So Duncan, and his name is Charles?
Charles Lamont Duncan.
Yeah.
All right, here he is.
You got a picture?
There's no picture. They don't have their mugshots.
Yeah, I couldn't find one either.
See, this one says he's in Telford. Wow.
Telford?
Yeah, that's the name of the facility. What? The other one said Michael, so he must have been in Michael at one point.
He probably got transferred or something.
Yeah, because this current one right on the Texas Department of Criminal Justice says he is in Telford. Life sentence.
In chat, Girly Gamer said Charles Lamont Duncan, ID 00651-202, Unit Estelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
So he's up for parole in 2027. Offender visitation eligible, yes.
It's crazy.
That is crazy, DWAP.
Wow.
Capital murder.
J.
I can't. The shit that comes out in our lives, I can't. It's never dull. It's never dull.
And that came from a question y'all asking, what's your most embarrassing moment?
I know, right?
And that's not even
And now we're all searching up freaking Lamont Duncan on our computer.
I'm going to have to do a whole story. I'm going to have to sit back. I'm going to have to find the mugshot. I'm going to have to call some sources up and get that mugshot. So
I bet you the only reason that kid didn't get the death penalty in Texas is because he was a kid.
Yeah, he was under 18.
Yep.
Yep.
Because I'm sorry, a killing like that, like just a thrill killing, that's like a perfect death penalty case.
Yeah.
Man, we got heavy tonight.
Hey, I got one more update that Jamie sent me while we were chatting. That the guy from the car chase has been picked up and arrested. He's back in jail. Thank God he's off the streets. But they screwed up. So he was on parole.
Oh, the woman?
Yes.
Oh, he's violation of parole.
He was on parole. They should have never granted him bail.
Yeah, he should have never got bail.
So that was their mistake. So thank God he didn't get out and hurt her because of their mistake of letting him out. So he's crazy. Back in custody. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's good for her.
Ooh.
Yeah, this got heavy tonight. You never know what's going to happen.
Okay, here's a funny. We'll lighten the mood.
Okay, yeah, lighten the mood.
I'm going to lighten the mood. We have a radio station out of Seattle, but anyway, that I listen to all the time, and or that I used to. And they used to have this segment on, I guess, in the morning called "My Family." It was a challenge. My family's weirder than your family. And so one day I was going down to southern Washington, and I live on an island. I was taking the ferry. So I go over and I drive on the island. They're just getting ready to play this game. So they're saying, oh, people call in. And so I think, oh, I need to call in. I should call in. And so I called in. And anyway, the guy's like, oh, okay, well, he says that segment's done. That segment's done, but what's your weird story? And I said, well, actually I have two. And he goes, okay, well, tell me what they are. So I told him what they were. And he goes, just a minute, I'll be right back. He comes back and he goes, okay, they're playing a song right now. But as soon as they're done, they're going to come on and go right into your story. And anyway, he got such a kick out of it. Both of them.
Oh, my God.
They were definitely weird.
And this is a radio station you called into?
Yeah, it was a radio station I called into. Yeah. I have a pretty weird family. So.
Yeah, I think we all kind of have a little bit of weirdness in our families. We know DWAP. He's the weirdness in his family.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure your sisters have some stories to tell about their brother.
What the? Dude, I'm like the successful one.
What the?
That's Ella.
Yeah, I know. Ella. What the? Yeah, I wonder who she gets that from.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son's dog is bringing me a random glove that he found outside, and he wants me to throw it.
Well, it is. It's late for DWAP.
We've been on here over 3.5 hours and
slaughtering that content. Y'all got some great stories.
But look, we found Lamont.
We did.
I know. Now we got a whole golly. That's a whole nother.
Yeah.
And we found out what a French room was.
Yep, a French room.
It's always that tonight. Let's sleep room.
Is Dre still on?
Dre falls asleep every time. She fell asleep the other night too.
Dre, are you asleep on?
I think Dre's asleep.
Yeah, she fell asleep.
She's not literally called it. She's not in the council meeting right now or whatever this is.
No, she's not.
She is, but there's no response.
Oh, her phone is still live?
Yeah, she did this the other night too, and I'm like, oh, I better remove Dre. I think she's sleeping.
That's funny.
I think she falls asleep with it in her hand. All right, guys. Well,
can you put that in your video that Dre fell asleep during the live?
Irby Herb is gonna have one hell of a video for tomorrow.
I'm gonna have a solo.
I'll send her the video or the picture of you on the horse.
Don't do that.
For the thumbnail.
Don't encourage that.
For the thumbnail.
Don't encourage that.
The innocent boy on that horse was a hellion.
I was 18 on that horse.
He was 12. Oh my God. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody who called in. The people that are still here and awake. The ones that aren't here anymore.
I'm questioning how I'm still awake.
I don't know. You said you were going to bed like 5 hours ago, so.
You said I was going to pass out, and, well, that hasn't happened yet.
All right, good night, you guys.
All right, bye, kids.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not a kid.
Bye, dweeb.
I am.
Lady dweeb.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Guys, thanks for watching. How do I get out of here, Jay?
Just hang up, DWAP.
I'm trying. Leave this meeting.
There he goes. Oh my God. You guys, if you want to check out my new Patreon page, I did add some cool bennies. So check out that page. The link has been in chat. The link's in the description. And I will talk to you guys soon. Jameson
Please
says
like and
bye.
subscribe.
Thank you, dweeb. Please like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
See, even the German Shepherd says like and subscribe. See? All right. See you guys.
Later.